can you guys believe that this mistake happened in SpongeBob, or this one? You guys know the drill. We're gonna be breaking down a ton of SpongeBob mistakes in today's video, and stay tuned for the random mistake of the day. Let's get right into it. So we're actually gonna be covering a ton of new season 14 SpongeBob episodes that premiered in the past like 2 weeks today, but let's start things off with a banger, a classic episode, Wormy. We've got 3 really spicy mistakes in this episode. Let's talk about the first one. Roll the footage.
What's that thing? What is that thing?
Yeah, I'm sure you guys caught that one because it is blatant. Like, this is a really bad mistake. So, when SpongeBob and Patrick are about to hide behind the picnic table from Wormy, who's transforming into a butterfly, if we look closely, SpongeBob's left arm disappears for a couple of frames. It isn't for like 1 frame, it's like for like 3, 4, or 5 frames, and it looks rough, dude. This must have been some sort of layering issue where SpongeBob's arm was a separate layer, and then that layer got like disabled or something. Weird mistake. And here's another one.
This just in, a giant monster is attacking Bikini Bottom.
Now this one is just weird. So this character right here is Incidental 26. I'm showing a PNG of him. All right, he doesn't show up too often, but he's a common background character for the most part. Now, in this episode, we get a scene where his eyes sink into his mouth while he's watching TV. And you'll notice his dorsal fin looks like this, all right? It's like a short and spiky one. But the problem is when we seen him seconds prior to this, his dorsal fin looks completely different. At first, it looked like this. So in the next scene, when they drew it like this, it was totally a mistake. Here's a side-by-side, like I don't know what was going on here, but a fish's dorsal fin doesn't just change randomly. This was 100% a mistake. And here's another one. This next one's a bit similar to the last one, where it's pretty much like a continuity error revolving around like colors or clothing or design. In this case, it has to do with Incidental 7's dress. As in the scene where the Bikini Bottomites are being chased away by Wormy. It's hilarious, by the way. I cannot believe they're running away from a butterfly or a worm. During this scene, Incidental 7's dress changes from yellow, as you can see here, it's yellow, to gray randomly at one point during the scene, making for another mistake. Like, I highly doubt girl just changed her dress mid-chase scene, especially when she's like freaking out, so yeah, a mistake. And stay tuned, guys, we're gonna head over to another episode. I'm saving some of the craziest mistakes for the ending of the video, so yeah, let's keep it moving.
SpongeBob, why are you so small?
I didn't mean to get small like you, Plankton. It was a freak accident.
Who are you calling a freak?
Next up, we have a very rough episode. It's The Incredible Shrinking Sponge, which, you know, the plot of the episode is cool. SpongeBob is shrunken down and like has to do a bunch of stuff, but the episode itself is pretty weak. It does, of course, have some mistakes, and the one mistake we're going to be covering is actually pretty whack. Let's see if you guys can spot it. Here's a hint. It has to do with the galley grub menu. All right, roll the footage. Alright, so let's go back to season 1 for a second and take a look at the galley grub menu. More specifically, how Patty in Krabby Patty is spelt. It's always spelt as P-A-T-T-Y. But one common mistake that's happened in a few episodes throughout SpongeBob's entire runtime, like the history of the show, is that sometimes Patty in Krabby Patty will be misspelt on the menu. And in this episode, The Incredible Shrinking Sponge, this happens right here. Look, Patty is weirdly spelt as P-A-T-T-I-E, which, yeah, is a massive mistake. Like, that's not how it's spelt at all. Okay, that one was kinda weak. It's still a mistake, so let's head over to another episode that actually has a good mistake in it. This one's really gonna shock you guys.
It reminds me of my mother's cooking when I was but a boy. I'm filled with childish glee.
Alright, it's time for those season 14 episodes I was talking about. The first one is Mamageddon, and this episode is hilarious. Season 14's been pretty solid so far, and this is one of the best episodes so far, in my opinion. Squiddy Box was also a good one, but yeah, Mamageddon, really good episode. But of course, even a good episode like this one has a mistake. There's actually 2, and they're pretty spicy. Here's the first one.
I demand a refund!
Okay, that's enough. There'll be no
refunds.
So this right here is Incidental 47. I'm showing a PNG of him, and what we really want to do here is remember his colors, all right? Let's even take a look at him in this episode, Mamageddon, and you'll see he's rocking his regular colors, all right? He looks like good old-fashioned Incidental 47. However, though, in the scene where Mr. Krabs tells the angry mob that there'll be no refunds, what a cheapskate. If you look, we can see Incidental 47 again, but there's something up with his colors. They've completely changed. They're actually completely swapped with another character. This is Incidental 186, and look at his colors, and then look at Incidental 47's colors in that one scene, and yeah, totally a mistake here. They got their colors like mixed up, and it's hilarious. And here's another one from Mamageddon. This one's actually like really bad.
Mom!
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 Hey, Ma!
Yeah, this episode's so funny. I love how all of the moms come together. It just really cracks me up. But anyways, in the scene you guys just saw, when the moms put lids on the cups of lemonade, you'll notice that Betsy's hands are actually the same color as Mrs. Tentacles, which is like totally a mistake. Betsy Crab is a crab and she's red like Mr. Krabs, so her hands should be red and not like that turquoise, like greenish bluish color that Squidward and other squids are in SpongeBob. So yeah, massive mistake. I have no idea why her hands are that color. And guys, let's keep it moving and head over to another episode. The mistakes we've covered so far are nothing compared to the ones coming up. So yeah, stay tuned. Let's keep it moving.
You got big. SpongeBob?
I fed Rolly, and he got big!
Is he dying?
No, you silly.
Next up, we have another season 14 episode. This is a very new episode. I think it premiered on like Valentine's Day. Me saying that has already dated this video, but anyways, the episode is Pet the Rock, and this is also a pretty good episode from season 14. With Patrick over here, our favorite starfish, getting himself a new pet rock, which is pretty cool. Also, didn't this happen before? I swear back in the like season 2 or 3 episode where they race their snails, it's like the Great Snail Race that Patrick has a pet rock, so kind of a reference here. But we're not here for references, we're here for mistakes. And here's the first one. I will admit I'm kind of nitpicking when it comes to this one, but this picture right here shows Patrick and his family from the Patrick Star Show, but it's actually missing a ton of details. Let's start with Bunny over here, all right? Because the picture of the family from Pet the Rock is missing the patterns normally seen on Bunny's clothing. The same thing with Patrick. I'm doing a side-by-side of each character, and Patrick, it's the same thing. The patterns are missing, but also Grandpat over here is missing one of his teeth. So yeah, a bit of a messy scene, but not that big of a deal. I'm kind of nitpicking. It's meant to be like a zoomed out shot of the picture, so I'm definitely over analyzing it. So let's move on to another episode with some actual crazy mistakes.
I need to erase this from my mind. Stop.
Keeping on the topic of modern SpongeBob, the HD era of SpongeBob, our next episode is Drive Happy. And this one's an interesting one. It's all about SpongeBob being able to drive, but not because he got his license finally, but because he operates this self-driving car. Definitely give the episode a watch when you get a chance, but first, let's watch these mistakes. Let's expose them. Here's the first one.
I want to be inside.
All right, Coop, come on in.
So I want you to take a look at some of these shots of SpongeBob's house. And what we'll notice is that SpongeBob has a garage in the back of his house, all right? We've seen it in many episodes before. Here are some examples. But remember this, because it seems that the writer of this episode and the animators forgot about it. That or they've just never watched old school SpongeBob before. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Nickelodeon. Because at one point, SpongeBob saws a hole at the front of his house so that his car, Coop, the self-driving car, can enter and seek shelter. But this is a problem because SpongeBob literally already has a garage, so like why would he do this? Like I said, the writer of this episode needs to go back and watch old school SpongeBob because they do not know what they're talking about at all. And here's one more mistake from this episode.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Hobbs.
SpongeBob, you're not driving!
I know, isn't it great?
Now this one could be a case of cartoon logic, but it's still like kind of a weird choice to be honest with you, because it does highlight what could be a mistake. As you guys seen in the clips that we just played, when SpongeBob's house eventually gets this driveway right here, look, Squidward's house is missing when it should be right here. Like based on the angle of this shot, we should be able to see his house, but I guess the animators were feeling a little lazy and just didn't draw it. Again, this one's kind of cartoon logic, but it's still technically a mistake. Like his house should be right there. Like look at this shot of Conch Street right here. That's where his house is, right there. So it should be right here in this shot. But anyways, I'm rambling. Let's just keep the spiciness going and head over to another episode with more mistakes. Tons of mistakes coming up.
Now, what will we call this eating dinner and watching theater?
Dinner theater.
We'll call it Singy Eaty Time.
Let's talk about season 7 for a second, more specifically the episode The Play's the Thing, an episode all about Squidward putting on a play at the Krusty Krab. Now, of course, there's loads of mistakes we're going to be covering in this episode and you don't want to miss them, but here are some clips from Squidward's play as it's actually like really funny, and then we'll get right to the mistake.
An octopus was born.
I'd like a double Krabby meal with extra kelp.
Go away, shoo, go away. At the Krusty Krab, his talent was wasted.
Excuse me, can I get a refill?
Now you can.
Okay, it's mistake time. That's what you guys are actually here for. We're gonna cover 2. Here's the first one, and try to comment it without me revealing it yet. Let's see if you guys can spot it without me showing you it right away, all right? Roll the footage.
Delivery for Mr. Squidward Tentacles. Hello?
You guys may have caught it, all right? But in the close-up shot of the mailman's letter, the mailman's sleeve is missing, despite the fact that when we see like the full shot of him, he has the sleeve. So in the close-up of the letter, he should also have his sleeve. That's a continuity error. And here's another one from this episode. Here's a hint. It has to do with SpongeBob's teeth. Roll the footage.
A stray wrapper in my kitchen? Oh, the trash is full. I had better call the garbage truck.
This is a very common mistake throughout SpongeBob, and I try to avoid it because I feel like it's kind of lame, but in this case, it's actually pretty bad. So, while SpongeBob faces towards the camera and begins acting like a garbage truck, look, for about a split second, his teeth turned yellow. You guys already know what I'm gonna say, but SpongeBob, go brush those teeth, boy. Also though, do you guys know what time it is? You guys know? Can you guys guess? It's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a very quick break from SpongeBob to talk about a mistake from a random cartoon suggested by you guys. And then don't worry, we get right back to SpongeBob. But it's fun to explore other cartoons, and real quick guys, comment down below what cartoons you want me to cover in the random mistake of the day. For today, let's do Paw Patrol. We've done it in the past, but I want to do it again. The episode in question is Pups Save the Paw Patroller, and for context, it has to do with this character right here, Rocky. And here's a hint, it has to do with his eye color, alright? Roll the footage.
Let's try his jets.
Yeah, so it's at the very beginning of this episode, but when Rocky is seen working on this robo-dog, there is one shot of him with extremely red eyes. You can see it right here, those eyes are red. When in every other shot we've seen of Rocky in this episode, and just in general, here's a PNG of Rocky, his eyes are like a normal brown color. So when he's animated with red eyes here, it is totally a mistake. His eyes are supposed to be brown. And let's head back over to SpongeBob. Again though guys, do let me know in the comments other cartoons you want us to cover in the random mistake of the day segment, all right? Let me know, but let's keep it moving back to SpongeBob, baby. So I imagine some of you guys have pets, and here's a funny question for you guys. What if one day your pet could just start talking? Like your dog could just start talking to you. Or your cat. I'm kind of more of a dog guy, but your cat could be talking to you too. Well, this is exactly what happens in Chatterbox Gary, with Gary over here becoming quite the chatterbox. Now, of course, we're gonna get right into the mistakes is what you guys are here for, but here are some hilarious clips from this episode of Gary talking, like some of the funny stuff he says, and then we're gonna get right into the mistakes.
Hello there, Papa Bob. I dream I'm flying above it all, while I breathe fiery destruction. They really bring out the sharp corners of your buttocks.
Yeah, I need to get one of these things right here for my dog, because Gary is cracking me up in this episode. Like, we need a whole spin-off series that's just based on Gary. But anyways, on to the mistakes. Here's the first one. Try to comment it before I reveal the mistake. I want to see if you guys can catch it before I tell you. All right, roll the footage. So as you guys just saw in the clips we just played, Squidward climbs up into SpongeBob's house. And when this happens, we can see that there's this rake right here, all right, by SpongeBob's house. This rake's right here. Remember it. As eventually, when Squidward climbs down from SpongeBob's house, the rake has just magically disappeared. And considering the context of this, episode and this scene, while Squidward was sneaking up there, SpongeBob did not come out and put the rake away. The animators drew the rake at first and forgot to draw it the second time, which isn't a big deal because this is a kid's cartoon, so yeah, but still, it's a mistake. Get wrecked, Nickelodeon. It's a mistake. And here's another one.
In order to achieve complete brainfulness, one must clear one's mind of all distractions.
Early on in the episode, we get these scenes where Squidward is meditating, all right? And now normally, if we look at Squidward in any other episode, just a random PNG of him, he always has these wrinkles on his forehead. Even back in his first appearance of SpongeBob, he's had the wrinkles. They will disappear when he makes very specific facial expressions, but even that is rare. They very rarely disappear. And when they do, it's usually a mistake. Now, if you guys look while Squidward's meditating, look, his wrinkles on his head are gone. But there could be a reasoning for this. Now, I think it's a mistake, but it could be due to the fact that he's meditating. So he's relaxed, he's calm from meditating, which could result in the forehead wrinkles maybe going away. I don't know. I definitely think it was a mistake though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. For now though, let's head over to another episode and find more SpongeBob mistakes.
Tomatoes, what's the deal on those things? And what does that make ketchup?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nice. Squirrel jokes. I love this episode. I felt bad for Sandy in it because, they're kind of mean to her, but overall, really good episode. And of course, it has a mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it without my help, all right, guys? Before I reveal and explain the mistake, try and comment it to see if you guys spot it first. But all right, roll the footage.
It's the stupid squirrel!
Let's try and communicate with it.
Okay, so context. This character right here is Incidental 38B, and you'll notice that their lips are purple, alright? Their lips are always purple too. In any other episode, look at some of these shots, their lips are purple, remember? Well, in the scene you guys just saw, where Sandy's in the grocery store and these three fish just start roasting her, they start going in on our girl. If we watch Incidental 38B closely, their lips actually flicker orange for about a frame, and then they go back to purple, but for that one frame, look at this, what? My theory is if you look, this fish over here is orange and has orangish lips, so maybe they got confused and mixed it up. It's only for a frame, but it's still a mistake. And here's another one that you do not want to miss from Squirrel Jokes. Roll the footage.
Seriously, folks, I want to give a special thanks to my friend Sandy. Sandy, don't you see? The crowd loves these.
So this right here is my boy Incidental 11, and you'll notice that he has this fin right here, all right? I want you to remember how this fin looks. We even see him in this episode earlier on, and his fin looks the same, right? Well, during the scene you guys saw where the spotlight's put on Sandy after SpongeBob starts roasting her more, look, part of Incidental 11's fin is just missing. It looks incredibly awkward, especially when there are shots with their full fin intact. So weird mistake here. It's not very noticeable unless you're looking for it, but I mean, come on, that is a mistake. And here's another one.
Crabs? Oh, brother, they're so cheap, they can't even pay attention.
I feel bad for Mr. Krabs over here, but when SpongeBob talks about crabs in his stand-up, Mr. Krabs over here is missing his legs. I can understand how this happened, kind of, but also, considering the angle, they're kind of silly for this one. It's so blatant. I remember catching this as a kid. So yeah, no legs on Mr. Krabs. Hey, it happens sometimes. Let's head over to another episode, guys, and stay tuned because the mistakes are gonna get worse as we go. It is going to be crazy by the ending of the video. All right, let's head over to the next episode.
Oh boy, what fun.
You lose.
Did you see that, SpongeBob? I almost got that on my first try.
Season 4 Skill Crane is an interesting episode. The plot, is very interesting, the idea of them getting a skill crane in the Krusty Krab. Now I want to play one of these. These games are fun. I'll win all of you guys a SpongeBob plushie, all right? Before that though, let's expose the mistakes in this episode. Here's the first one.
You know this guy?
Yeah, that's Squidward.
Yeah, so this one really cracked me up. I never noticed this as a kid, but now that I've seen it, I cannot unsee it when watching this episode. So this construction worker right here, the short king right here, all right, pay attention to his pants. At first, he's wearing these like grayish, bluish pants right here, as you can see, all right? Remember these? They're kind of fresh. I need a pair. Then the scene changes, but when we go back to it and we see the same short king over here, look, his pants are now like a beige color. I'm doing a side-by-side and they like completely changed his pants. I don't even know how something like this happened. Maybe his pants were originally going to be beige. I don't know. Maybe it's a layering issue because if you look, they're standing on sand, which is a similar color. I don't know, but this is definitely a mistake. And here's another one from Skill Crane.
Need some change? There you are.
Say, thanks.
No, Mr. Squidward. Thank you.
This one is very easy to miss, and me and the team had to rewatch it a couple of times to actually catch the mistake. So in the footage you guys just saw, when Mr. Krabs is thanking Squidward after giving him change, it happens right before the coins start rolling, but the leftmost end of Mr. Krabs' belt turns gray for a frame. Obviously it's supposed to be black, as we've seen in every other appearance of Mr. Krabs, even in this episode. But for a moment, it is gray for a single frame, and that, my friends, is totally a mistake. Don't worry though, guys, we've got more. We're gonna head over to another episode, and you guys are gonna really like this one because it's from an iconic episode that I love. All right, let's do it. Let's head over to our next episode.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
I told you guys this episode is iconic, the secret box. This episode is all about Patrick having like this box, and he won't show SpongeBob what's inside of his box, and this drives SpongeBob crazy. You know what really drives me crazy though? The mistake in this episode. Roll the footage, please.
Inside this very box is the most secret-y secret in all of secretdom.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this PNG of SpongeBob right here, and we'll all notice that he has freckles on his face. He has 3 freckles on each cheek. This is a major part of our boy's design. But there's a massive animation glitch in this episode, as before Patrick mentions Squidward's house, look at SpongeBob's cheek as he has double the amount of freckles. Like, it looks really weird. There's like 6 of them. This has never happened before and has never happened since this episode, so totally a mistake here. Like, look at how weird that looks. Anyways, let's go to the next episode.
We got fresh water, a rugged tent,
And a nice fire to keep us warm.
Hey, where'd you get the firewood? You burned our food supply!
Up next, we have To Save a Squirrel, and this is actually a pretty good episode. I like this one. SpongeBob and Patrick go off to find Sandy, and the mistakes in this episode are very interesting, especially this first one. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Carrots! You're making soup out of me!
It was not! It was supposed to be stew!
Did you guys catch it? If not, I do not blame you because this one is going to need some explaining. There is some explaining to do here for sure. It has to do with this puddle right here, as it seems that Patrick goes under the puddle when he's running, during his running animation. And I don't mean like he steps in the puddle like he's stepping in water. I mean like the art for the puddle is literally overlapping his leg like it's on top of his leg, as you can see here. This is 100% a layering issue, where you can see that the puddle's layer should be under Patrick's layer, I guess his body layer, but they messed up and swapped them, which is why this puddle is like on top of Patrick. So weird, man. It's so weird. Not as weird as this next one though, from To Save a Squirrel. Roll the footage. It has to do with one of SpongeBob's pores.
Ruined our tent and lost all our water. Patrick, we are gonna need to use our razor-sharp quick wits if we're gonna make it out of here alive.
Did you guys catch it? This one's actually fairly easy to catch if you pause at the right frame, which is what we just did for you guys, but I got you. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain it. When SpongeBob says, Patrick, we are going to need to use our razor-sharp quick wits if we're going to make it out of here alive, one of his holes just becomes transparent for a split second. Like, you can see right through it and see the sky behind it, which is not supposed to happen. SpongeBob's pores are never just entirely see-through. They're just holes into his body. So being able to see the sky through our yellow spongy boy over here is 100% a mistake, and a fairly bad one actually. But all right, let's keep it moving, guys. Let's head over to another episode. Coming in hot, we've got Blackened Sponge. This is a weird SpongeBob episode. The title's very weird, just saying, blackened sponge, but it's all about SpongeBob getting a black eye and lying about it. He actually like slips and hurts his eye, but he goes and lies to everyone and tells them that he got in a fight with some dude. SpongeBob, you're such a capper. As a matter of fact, we're gonna get into the mistakes, but I want you guys to hear SpongeBob's elaborate little lie here about what actually happened.
When a wanton cry of distress pounded against my eardrum, I quickly located the source of the cry. Don't worry, I'll save you the face. The hurler was none other than Jack M. Crazy Fish. With cat-like reflexes, I preempted his attack, but the scoundrel had me sabotaged, and I fell face down on a pile of extra-large staples. He lunged at me, but I got him in the ribs with my novelty feather duster. Down he fell like a mighty oak. Jack M. Crazy Fish burst into tears. The force of his crying was so strong, I had to take evasive action. One of the blasts went haywire and hit me right in the face. And that's how I got this black eye.
Yeah, so that's what SpongeBob says is what happens. Again, we're gonna get into the mistakes, but this is what actually happened. Look.
Ooh, what a relief. For a second there, I thought I gave myself a black eye.
Yeah, SpongeBob, you are a massive liar, and guys, here's the first mistake from this episode.
What the?
Hello, little fishes.
Hi, Sandy.
Hello.
You guys probably caught this one, but when SpongeBob says, "Hi, Sandy," look, part of his white shirt is black, when of course it's supposed to be white. I don't know what happened here, but it's definitely not supposed to be black. Here's mistake number 2 from Blackened Sponge.
SpongeBob is 13 and a half minutes late for duty. Well, looks like I was right about the accident part.
This one is definitely going to need some explaining, but it's pretty rough. So, when Incidental 107, this guy right here, first appears in Mr. Krabs' comments about how late SpongeBob is, Incidental 107 is seen in his normal color scheme, alright? This is how he's always drawn in color. However though, when SpongeBob eventually comes in and walks past Incidental 107, who's with Incidental 14 at the time, look. Incidental 107 is now just a completely different color. They just completely changed his design, and there's only one of Incidental 107, so this was absolutely, positively, 100% a mistake. And believe it or not, I've got another one from this episode. 3 in 1 episode is wild.
And karate kicked his hairpiece right off of its snaps. He was so ashamed, he ran all the way home, leaving behind a pool of tears.
Did you guys catch it? Well, when Jack M. Crazy Fish, the dude that SpongeBob supposedly beat up, when he in SpongeBob's story runs all the way home, leaving behind a pool of tears, major cap, we can see that SpongeBob is wearing his Krusty Krab hat. But guys, what's missing? Come on, let me know in the comments what's missing from his hat. I'm gonna give you guys like 5 seconds to figure it out. Yeah, he's missing the anchor on his hat. Massive mistake. Let's keep it going though, gang. Let's head over to another episode, and don't worry, random mistake of the day is coming up soon.
Then who was flickering the lights?
Nosferatu!
Back to the classics. Next up, we've got Graveyard Shift, and this one's a cool one where Squidward and SpongeBob are forced to work like overnight, and they get terrified when this new kid is coming to apply. They think he's the hash-slinging slasher, but he's actually just this cute kid right here. All right, enough spoilers. Here's the first mistake.
SpongeBob, no matter what I've said, I've always sort of liked you.
Squidward, I used your clarinet to unclog my toilet.
So let's take a look at SpongeBob's design, all right? We're looking at this PNG of our favorite yellow spongy boy right here, and you'll notice he has this red line right here under his mouth. It's always been there ever since season 1, and it never really disappears. It's supposed to represent like the under part of his jaw, I think, or the bottom part of his mouth. But anyways, in Graveyard Shift, when Squidward and SpongeBob are shaking under the misconception that the hash-slinging slasher is approaching, that red line under SpongeBob's mouth actually flickers between normal and invisible. I'm playing it in slow motion right here. I zoomed in and I sharpened the footage, and yeah, you can see it kind of just goes back and forth between the two, which is very awkward and weird. You know what's also gonna be weird though? The random mistake of the day, a quick segment in every video where we take a moment to talk about mistakes from a random cartoon suggested by you guys, and then we go right back to SpongeBob. Don't worry, we're gonna get right back to your favorite spongy boy. Today we're gonna do Pokemon. That's right, guys, we're gonna do some Pokemon. We're gonna catch them all today. Now, the episode in question is the episode episode Weekend Warriors, and I'm gonna show PNGs of them on screen. It has to do with these 3 Pokemon, all right? We've got Meryl, we got Breloom, and we got Shroomish, all right? I want you to remember their colors and their design, all right? You guys got it? You got it? All right, roll the footage. Let's see if you guys can spot the mistake.
As soon as May discovered this exciting event was taking place in Silvertown, well, you can be sure she wasted no time in entering.
Did you guys catch it? If you're a hardcore Pokemon fan, you probably did. If not though, Cartoon Corey's got you. Pretty much, there are a bunch of coloring errors with Pokemon in the shots you guys just saw. More specifically, this one right here. First up, we have this Meryl, who is incorrectly colored as light blue. This one's pretty soft. I'm not gonna lie, this one's not that big of a deal. Regularly, Meryl is like this dark blue color, but this Meryl is light blue, which is kind of weird. But like I said, not that big of a deal. What's really a problem is this Breloom right here. Normally, Breloom looks like this, all right? It's green with like red claws, and then there's a bit of white in their design as well. Looks exactly like this. But in this one scene, the animators messed up and gave Breloom this like weird like blue and green color. And it's not a shiny, just saying, it's not a shiny Breloom. The other mistake is this Shroomish right here, which again, it's kind of like Meryl, it's not that big of a deal. But normally, Shroomish looks like this, all right? He has like this kind of beige top with green feet and then green dots on him. And as you can see in this episode, they completely botched his design. They gave him like white spots for some reason. The top of him is correct, but if we look at his feet are supposed to be green and they're not green. So yeah, 3 mistakes in one scene here. Like I said, if you're a hardcore Pokemon fan, you probably caught them, but back to SpongeBob. Also though, let me know if you guys want me to do more Pokemon in the future and comment other cartoons you want me to cover in the random mistake of the day. All right, back to SpongeBob. Back to SpongeBob, baby, and we're gonna be doing the episode Funny Pants, where SpongeBob is tricked into thinking that he's lost his laugh. We're gonna get into the mistakes, but take a look at this compilation of scenes where SpongeBob just cannot laugh anymore. It's actually really sad. Poor SpongeBob, dude. Like, his laugh is kind of iconic. I'm gonna play just a soundbite of his laugh. Dude, it's annoying, but it's iconic. It's a big part of his design, so I feel bad for him for losing his laugh. I also feel bad for the animators, though, for these mistakes. Here's the first one.
Hey, you laugh just like me!
So this one happens at the very end of the episode, and you know, it's kind of a tricky one. But at the very ending of the episode, when Squidward runs off of his bed, if we slow the footage down and look, it seems like he's walking on air for a moment. This might have been for comedic effect or something, but I do think this was a bit of an error. We don't know for sure though, so let's head over to mistake number 2 that's a lot more entertaining.
There he goes, off to share his laughter with the world.
This one's also near the ending of the episode, but when Squidward bursts through the hospital wall near the end, look, the heart monitor is still running, which shouldn't happen because Squidward is no longer like connected to the heart monitor. Weird. All right, one more from this episode.
Look, he's waking up.
Where am I?
Did you guys catch it? So let's take a look at Sandy right here and look at her design. A big part of it is on her like white suit right here. There's this acorn symbol right here. I'm circling it. Well, when Squidward wakes up from his coma, look, both Sandy's zipper and the badge from her suit are just gone. The animators just didn't draw it. I mean, to be fair, Mr. Krabs' hand is in front of it, but they should have at least drawn the zipper. So yeah. In the season 15 episode, The Sandman Cometh, we have a very similar plot to the episode in Spongiac, where a certain somebody is having a hard time falling asleep. In the episode in Spongiac, it's all about SpongeBob having a hard time falling asleep and getting help from Patrick, but in this episode, it's reversed. And it gets really bad, with Patrick almost like hallucinating due to him having such a lack of sleep. I mean, look at some of these clips. This dude is just crazy.
You want to see a picture of my grandkids?
Patrick definitely needs some sleep, but also it seems the animators were lacking on sleep a little because they made a tiny mistake, and I gotta point it out. So normally at the very start of a SpongeBob episode, there's the title card, and then there's a bubble transition into the actual animation of the episode. Here's an example of this right here from another episode. Yeah, so that's how that opening transition looks in any other episode. But for some reason, in this episode, it's different. Here, take a look for yourself, and then I'll explain. It's very easy to miss, and I probably look just as crazy as Patrick looked earlier when he was tweaking from his lack of sleep, but there is a mistake here. For one, the transition in this episode has no bubbles, and instead it's accompanied by a screen wipe. But here's the actual issue. You can still hear the bubble sound effect. It's not a big deal, but it is a mistake. And you guys know the drill, I've got more. Let's keep it rolling. In this episode, SpongeBob loses something very important to him, his lucky clip tie. And this causes him to go through all sorts of issues. In the end, he gets his clip back, and everything goes back to normal. But of course, what we're here to talk about are mistakes. And here's the first one, okay? You'll notice that in this scene, SpongeBob has good luck, so he should be wearing something.
Oh, you!
Did you guys catch it? Well, when SpongeBob carries Incidental 82 while crossing the road, his lucky tie clip is missing. We see it in this shot before right here, but it's completely missing during this shot, which doesn't make much sense because the whole point of the clip is that it gives him good luck. That's why he doesn't get hit by a car. So this is totally a mistake here. And here's another one. Let's see if you guys can spot it. This one's pretty straightforward, and honestly, this one's cartoon logic for the most part, but during the Bubble Bass wide shots, where the camera's like zoomed out, all of the tables in the Krusty Krab are missing. Earlier in the episode, when we see the inside of the Krusty Krab, it looks like this and has tables, but during this one shot with Bubble Bass, the tables are just missing. They just didn't draw them. Also, if we pay attention to this character right here, Harris, his design is inconsistent. Normally, he looks like this, but in this one shot, he looks like this. It's not that big of a difference, but it is inconsistent, and that technically is a mistake, and I've got more. Next up, we have another really good episode. This one is Upward from season 15. Can you believe that there's 15 seasons of SpongeBob? Holy cow. But yeah, this episode's really cool. For once, somebody actually believes in Squidward's music dreams. As you guys know, 90% of the time, everybody's telling Squidward that he sucks at the clarinet, but in this episode, Lady Upturn decides to almost like sponsor him. She like signs him and invests money into turning him into a star. So much so that the episode even culminates with Squidward performing at the famed Bikini Bottom Opera House. Now, the mistakes in this episode aren't too bad, but I still want to talk about them. And the first one takes place when Squidward tells the Krusty crew that he's become a paid musician.
What's with all the joy, Mr. Squidward?
I'm a paid musician now.
You? Musician?
Did you guys catch it? Well, if not, don't worry, let me explain. Normally, if we take a look at any other shot of Mr. Krabs, he normally has these spikes right here on his back. Well, in that scene I just played from Upward, if you guys look, Mr. Krabs is missing those spikes. And considering the angle that we see him at, we should be able to see them. Like I said, it's a minor mistake, but I mean, it is a part of Mr. Krabs' design. Here's another mistake from the same episode. And you guys should be able to spot it. It's a very common SpongeBob SquarePants mistake. Roll the clip and pay attention to the chum bucket, or the lack thereof.
Hello, losers!
Okay, so during the first exterior shot of the Krusty Krab, the chum bucket and the road leading to it are missing, which is a mistake in and of itself. As you guys know, canonically, the Krusty Krab and the chum bucket are directly across from one another. And as you guys saw in Upward, the animators forgot about that during this scene. But not only that, it's kind of inconsistent. As the scene progresses, when we get to this scene where we see Squidward entering the Krusty Krab, look, suddenly, just magically out of thin air, the chum bucket and the path have appeared. Is it a big deal? No, but you guys know I love pointing out mistakes, so let's keep it rolling and head over to another episode. Next up, how about one of the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes? We'll do Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Part 5. Just saying rest in peace to the voice actors because they're legendary. I do feel bad because we're gonna expose some mistakes. Here's the first one. Let's see if you guys can catch it without my help. I'm gonna reveal and explain the mistake, but before I reveal it, try to comment it if you guys catch it. All right, roll the footage.
These three have named their new alliance. Every villain is Lemons, otherwise known as evil. What can we do?
Come on, I know you guys caught this one because this one is blatant. I don't know how Nickelodeon staff or Rough Draft Korea, the people who animate SpongeBob, did not catch this one. But to be fair, the episode's like over 20 years old, so. But anyways, in the Every Villain is Lemons TV sequence, look, the word villain is incorrectly spelt. Villain is supposed to be spelt as V-I-L-L-A-I-N, but they got it a little mixed up in this shot right here. I wonder how many kids went on to think that this is how you spell villain. It's a funny mistake, but here's one that's a lot more spicy from the same episode. Roll the footage.
Oh, yes, you do. No world means no money. Now, go save the world, or you're fired!
You guys are legends if you caught this, but when Mr. Krabs is talking to Squidward in the clips you guys just saw and says no world means no money, look, his right arm is missing. It's kind of an awkward shot, which justifies it a little bit, but they still should have drawn dude's arm, especially if Mr. Krabs wants to be counting all that money. He needs those arms, so yeah. Here's another mistake from Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Part 5, and this one's a lot worse.
Need a hand? Super pal.
This one's closer to the ending of the episode. It's actually in the very final scene when Barnacle Boy says need a hand super pal and reunites with his best bud Mermaid Man. So nice. If you look closely, his mask, the side parts of his mask turn to the same color as his skin for this one frame, which is majorly incorrect. That's not supposed to be the same color as his skin. To be fair, it's only for one frame, but I mean, come on man, it's still a mistake. And believe it or not, I've got one more from this episode.
I'm right here. Don't worry, good citizens. Nothing will stop me from defeating the evil!
Did you guys catch that one? If not, don't worry, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. So, when Mermaid Man says that he will fight the evil after the news report plays, it seems that one of his suspenders cuts off before reaching his shoulder, as you can see right here. Maybe Mermaid Man needs to lay off the Krabby Patties. He might be getting too big for that seashell bra he's wearing. Anyways, though, let's head over to another episode, guys, with more mistakes, and trust me, you do not want to miss these ones. This episode almost got canceled because of the mistakes.
I'm sorry to waste your time, mister.
Wait!
It happens really fast, so I cannot blame you guys if you didn't catch it, but when SpongeBob says in the clips you guys just saw, "I'm sorry to waste your time, mister," his normally gray spatula that's literally always gray in every other episode randomly turns yellow for a split second. Like, what? For this one, it's just confusing. I don't know if it's a layering issue. I don't really know what happened here. Maybe they originally drew it yellow and then realized it was supposed to be gray and fixed it in post, but for one frame they slipped up. I don't know. But stay tuned because the next mistake we're going to be covering from this next episode is going to blow your brain. Let's do it. Okay, so this right here is Queen Amphitrite. I might have said it incorrectly, but she does come from Greek mythology, just saying. But yeah, this is her design from SpongeBob. I'm showing a PNG here, and as you can see on her belt right here, she has a seahorse on it right here. Remember this as it's very important, as if we watch closely in the clips I just showed you guys, when she's about to close this door of the carriage after Neptune and Triton return, look, the seahorse I just mentioned has vanished from her belt. Now, it's most likely due to this scene and how it's animated, but it should still be there despite this. Like, it's like the animators were just too lazy to draw it in this one shot, which can be excused, but this next error, not so much.
Hey man, what's the big idea?
Who said that? Show yourself!
So it takes place in the scenes where SpongeBob first meets Triton when he's in the cage. And if we look at this lock right here, it actually changes multiple times. This is how it looks at first. Then it changes to this. There are these shots where it has like no art on it. So very messy scene right here. This lock changes multiple times and that is a mistake. And guys, if you thought these were bad, you will not believe the ones coming up in our next episode. It isn't necessarily the best episode, but it's one of the few episodes to actually focus on the marriage of Plankton and Karen, which is cool. I like when we get more episodes that build the world of SpongeBob and Bikini Bottom, but I'm being a nerd and we're here for mistakes. So here's the first one. Let's see if you guys can spot it before I reveal it. Try to comment the mistake before I actually tell you. All right, got it? Roll the footage.
55% loaded. Krabby Patty formula loading completed.
Did you guys catch it? Well, don't worry, Cartoon Corey's going to explain. So, when SpongeBob attempts to Control-Alt-Delete Karen, he literally tries to kill Karen and delete her, we can see that the keyboard keys that he uses are white. Alright, remember this is a white keyboard, alright? And it should stay white for this entire episode. Well, plot twist, that isn't what happens, as when Karen begins to short circuit, look, those white keys are now suddenly red, making for a wacky continuity error, like the keys of a keyboard don't randomly change color, guys. The animators originally drew them as white and then forgot and drew them as red, which is a mistake. Let's keep it moving and head over to another episode. Things are really gonna get spicy from here. This is another nitpick, so I'm gonna make it very quick. It's in the episode Pineapple Fever. I'm gonna roll the clip and let's see if you guys can catch it.
In a row right here! Tic-tac! Ow!
Easy, friend.
Yeah, relax, Squidward. We're just here to have fun. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Congratulations, Squidward.
Well played.
Did you guys catch it? This one's kind of a tricky one, alright? So, this tic-tac-toe rules book that SpongeBob is reading, alright? If you look closely, the title of the book is on the right side of the book, which is incorrect. It should be on the left. And based on how you would read a book, where you're turning each page to the left, the title of a book would be on the left side of it. SpongeBob isn't reading manga over here. My boy ain't reading the new chapter of Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, this is technically a mistake. I'm being a total nerd, but still technically a mistake, and let's head over to an episode with some good mistakes. You know, Mr. Krabs is a very, very greedy father, alright? But at the same time, Pearl is kind of a spoiled brat at times. This is definitely the case in the episode Whale of a Birthday, where Mr. Krabs sends SpongeBob to get Pearl a present, just he doesn't want to spend a ton of money. At least he's not getting her squeaky boots this time. Now, this episode has a few mistakes. Here's the first one. Let's dive right in.
Sea pony is the cutest thing ever. Do you want to come home and be my pony?
Pearl, come here. This is so coral.
Now, this one is actually really bad, and it's also pretty weird at the same time. I have no idea how something like this happened. As you guys saw in the clips, Pearl and her friends are at the mall, and in this scene, she looks at the sea pony. Now, in the first shot, it shows the dog fish tank right next to it, alright? It's two separate, tanks beside each other. Remember this, I know I'm over-explaining it, but two separate tanks with animals in them beside each other, with a clear separation of the two tanks. However, though, a few seconds later, and now look, it's completely transformed, and now it's one tank, with the sea pony sharing it with the dogfish. I have no clue how this happened, but what can you do, guys? Actually, what we can do is head over to another episode with more mistakes. Also, stay tuned, though, because we're going to be doing the random mistake of the day very soon, so yeah. Next up, we have the inside job. So I'm totally nitpicking with this one, so I'm going to make it quick, and don't worry, guys, the other mistakes we're going to be covering are actually good, but in the episode The Inside Job, there's this mistake. Roll the footage.
The Krabby Patty recipe!
Did you guys catch it? Well, as you guys can see, Plankton's inside SpongeBob's body, and we can see his heart. But it should be doing something that it isn't doing in this shot, and that's beating. A heart is constantly beating. That's how, you stay alive. So again, like I said, I'm nitpicking, but the heart not beating in this one shot is technically a mistake. Next up, we'll be doing No Weenies Allowed. And I know if you're an old school SpongeBob fan, you know this episode. It's the one where SpongeBob becomes desperate to get into the salty spittoon after Sandy's allowed and he's not allowed. To be honest, I'd be pretty cheesed about that too. Like, your girl gets in, but you can't get in. Anyways, though, here's the first mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch it without my help. Try to comment the mistake before I actually reveal it. All right, roll that footage.
Sandy? Oh, what happened?
You ran inside and slipped out an ice cube.
Okay, did you guys catch it? If not, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. As you can see in these shots of Sandy right here, she is a squirrel and she has a tail. It's a big part of her design because, you know, she's a squirrel. But there are two scenes in this episode where her tail just was not drawn for some strange reason. They're both when they're in the ambulance. There's this shot right here that's more of a zoomed out shot, and as you can see, her tail is gone. This one's especially bad because of how zoomed out it is. And the second is this shot, which is a little more excusable. It's more zoomed in, and maybe because of the angle, you just can't see it. But either way, we should be able to see her tail in both of these shots, and this was a little goof on the animator's end. Anyways though, let's head over to another episode, and this is where things are really gonna get spicy. We're jumping over to season 5 for this next one. The episode is Enemy-in-Law, and this episode is all about Plankton falling in love with Mr. Krabs' mom. I'd be so upset. My arch rival starts trying to rizz up my mother. That would be a scrap. But anyways, here's the first mistake.
I've reservations for 2 tonight.
Right this way, sir.
You guys may have noticed, but when Plankton walks into the Krusty Krab with a rose for Mr. Krabs' mom, there is a burger sticker on the window right here. We're circling it, we're zooming in. Remember, this burger sticker right here. Now, it should be here for the remainder of the episode. However, once Plankton gets inside of the restaurant, look, that sticker has just magically disappeared randomly. Weird. Here's mistake number 2.
Eugene!
I came to warn you, Plankton. Stay away from me, Mother. I know what you're really up to.
I'm serious, Eugene. I've changed my ways. And all it took was the love of a beautiful woman.
Well, you love is thieving and conniving. Now stop trying to get the formula out of me, Mother!
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Krabby Patty formula!
This one's more of a strange one, but when Mr. Krabs barges into the chum bucket in anger, some scenes show these red pipes on the wall right here. Remember them, they should be here for the entire scene. But in some shots where we see the exact same wall, which should have those red pipes, they're not there. So the animators drew the red pipes at first, and then in some shots just were too lazy to draw them again. Not a huge deal, but definitely a mistake. And guys, stay tuned because these next set of mistakes we're going to be covering are going to blow your mind. Next up, let's head over to season 12 and talk about a fairly good episode that I personally enjoyed, that being Squid on a Bus, which, I mean, the title's pretty self-explanatory for this one, guys. It's about Squidward taking the bus. It's a good episode, but like most episodes of SpongeBob, it does have 3 mistakes hidden in it, and these mistakes are really, really bad, guys. Here's mistake number 1.
I've been waiting for almost an hour.
Almost an hour, he says.
Late again.
So in the opening of the episode, Squidward appears to be wearing a watch on his right wrist, right? You can see it right here. I'm zooming in on it. But seconds later, when the bus door opens, Squidward's watch is just missing now. I doubt the dude took it off to go in the bus. What I think happened is in this first shot right here, the animators drew him with a watch, but then the animators forgot about the watch because in this scene, the watch is just gone. Poof, it went missing. And that's not the only thing missing in the beginning of the episode, as there's another mistake that's kind of similar to this one. Roll the footage again.
I've been waiting for almost an hour.
Almost an hour, he says.
Late again.
Did ya catch it? Well, take a look at this shot of Conch Street right here. As you can see, it goes Patrick's house, Squidward's house, and then good old SpongeBob's house right here, that old-fashioned pineapple house. Now I'm hungry. But in that opening scene, where is SpongeBob's house? It should be right there. You could say that, you know, it just wasn't on the screen, but the distance between Squidward's house and SpongeBob's house is not that wide, and I'm pretty sure the animators were just feeling kind of lazy in this scene and didn't draw SpongeBob's house, which is still technically a mistake. But wait, there's more. Here's mistake number 3. Let's see if you guys can catch this one. Man, Man, 3 mistakes in one episode is like really bad. Nickelodeon be slacking, boy. But take a look at this shot from inside the bus when the bus starts rocking. As you can see, there are passengers inside. They're chilling inside the bus. But when we get the same shot from the outside view, why is Squidward the only one on the bus? The passengers just disappeared? They're gone? Poof? Talk about a mistake, a continuity mistake, and let's keep it moving and head over to another episode. Actually, nah, you know what we're doing first, guys? It's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a very quick break from SpongeBob, and don't worry, it'll be quick. We'll get right back to SpongeBob, but we take a quick break to talk about mistakes in another random cartoon suggested by you guys. And today we're gonna do Phineas and Ferb again. This one's fun. Don't worry, guys, we're gonna go right back to SpongeBob, but let's talk about a mistake in Phineas and Ferb. This character right here is Candace, and you'll notice that her skirt, alright, is white. Especially in this episode, her skirt is white. I'm showing a PNG of her, so pay attention to that and you guys might be able to spot it. Alright, roll the footage.
She's Candace, like the Venus de Milo, except she's not armless and handless.
Well, why in this scene, when the camera pans back as Candace sees the giant cake in her dream sequence, is her skirt red instead of white? In every other shot of this episode, her skirt is white, and in this one shot, it's randomly red, which was most likely done to make coloring and animating it easier. But it's still a mistake, it should be white, so yeah. Back to SpongeBob though, and guys, let me know other cartoons you want me to cover in the random mistake of the day, alright? But yeah, back to SpongeBob. Now, what season should we do next? I'm thinking season 9, and we'll do the sewers of Bikini Bottom. This episode is wild. First mistake, here we go. Let's see if you guys can catch it before I reveal it.
The halftime wave man. When every toilet flushes at once, the sewers can't take it. It's madness.
Yeah, did you guys catch that? Because it's kind of hilarious. So when Charlton over here says that there's only 5 minutes left, look at the TV, dude. It clearly says that there's 10 minutes and 42 seconds left. Like, what? This guy right here needs to get fired because he's not doing his job right. And here's mistake number 2. And it takes place in the clips I just showed you guys during the last shot of the fishes running from the sewer snake. For one, incidental 45 and incidental 46 are both duplicated, so there's 2 of them in one shot, when these are like very common background characters. These guys in particular aren't duplicated usually, so this is kind of weird. But also, incidental 45 over here, right? The back of her bra is incorrect. And you can especially see this because look at this other incidental 45 right here, the duplicated version. The back of her bra is correct. So just, yeah, a weird scene.
Please, don't tell Mr. Krabs about this. It'll hurt my chances of winning the award.
I already told you that award is a bunch of baloney.
First up, we've got a banger. I love starting these videos off with like classic episodes because let's be real, SpongeBob season 1, 2, and 3 are like the best seasons. So obviously, Employee of the Month is up there as one of my favorite episodes. Even an episode like this though has mistakes, and let's expose them. Here's the first mistake, guys. Roll that clip. Did you guys catch it? Because this one's really bad. In the shot you guys just saw where Squidward is like brushing his teeth, if we look at him in the mirror, all right, we're looking at the reflection of Squidward in the mirror, we can see that Squidward's nose goes over top of the bubbles. That's how the reflection looks. But if we look at Squidward, like the actual version of Squidward, we can see that the animators messed up because those bubbles are in front of his nose. Remember, in the reflection, the bubbles are behind his nose. So like real life Squidward, the bubbles should also be behind his nose, but they're in front. So really weird mistake right here. I definitely rambled and over-explained it, but you guys get it now. And here's another mistake from the same episode.
Honey.
Okay, so for this one, we need to go back a little bit, all right? We're gonna go to any random episode of SpongeBob and take a look at the doors of the Krusty Krab. And what we'll notice is that the handles to these doors are always like gold or brown, all right? They're always this color right here. Well, in Employee of the Month, when Squidward and SpongeBob barge into the Krusty Krab when they're racing near the ending of the episode, look at the handles of the Krusty Krab doors. They are completely incorrect. They're for some reason like clear and see-through or transparent, when as I already showed you guys, they're supposed to be gold or brown. I'm totally a nerd for even catching it, but yeah, totally a mistake. And stay tuned, guys, because the mistakes are going to get crazier as we go. Let's head over to our next episode.
Karen, is that a new monitor?
Oh, you charmer. Knock it off, Romeo.
We're heading over to modern SpongeBob with this next one, as it's a season 14 episode, but that ain't gonna stop me from exposing mistakes. I've already found one in this episode. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm sure you guys will be able to catch it. So roll that clip.
So long, son. Turns out the formula's worth something after all.
Did you guys catch it? Well, this is a classic mistake. The Krusty Krab and Chum Bucket are directly across from each other on this street right here. And then this street breaks off into two paths, one path leading to the Krusty Krab and the other path leading to the Chum Bucket, as you can see in the clips I just showed you. Well, in Blood is Thicker Than Grease, at the very end of the episode, we get a shot where we should be able to see the Krusty Krab, but it's just blatantly missing from across the street. Like, how does this happen? The animators just completely forgot to draw the Krusty Krab, making for a minor, but at least very funny mistake. And there's plenty more where that came from, guys.
Okay then, here I go.
Turn around. Other side. Up. But not quite. Okay, up. Getting there.
How's this?
Next up is the episode Ride Patrick Ride, which is all about Patrick learning how to ride a bike. He isn't very good at it at first, but he eventually gets pretty good. Here's some clips from the episode, really funny.
Hi, Mrs. Puff.
Hello, SpongeBob.
You know, I'm having a little trouble trying to teach Patrick how to ride a bicycle. Have you ever had trouble teaching a student, Mrs. Puff?
You know, of all people, I don't think SpongeBob should have been the one trying to teach Patrick how to ride anything, considering this dude can't even ride a boat. I know he can ride a bike in the episode, but SpongeBob, you're not a very good teacher. Anyways, though, let's get into the first mistake from this episode. This one is very easy to miss, and I'm very proud of myself for finding it. Roll the footage.
In the honor of becoming the greatest bicyclist who has ever lived, I present you the key to Bikini Bottom.
So as you can see in this scene, Patrick's bike, the handles, right, have these like ribbons or beamers coming out of it, right? These stringy things coming out. It's red. It's right here. I'm circling it. Remember this, as during this scene where Patrick is getting a key from City Hall due to saving a bunch of people, it's so funny, those ribbons are not on the handles of his bike. And the reason this is really a mistake is seconds later in this same scene, look, he has the ribbons in this scene, the lady with the keys right beside him. But if we rewind for just a couple of seconds, in this shot where it's zoomed out, he doesn't have the ribbons on his handles. I'm so proud of myself for catching this one.
Well, golly! Randy says the rodeo's come to town.
Championship title? For what?
You got cotton in your ears.
No, it's not cotton. It's actually an old moldy piece of Krabby Patty.
Up next is the season 7 episode Rodeo Days, an episode where SpongeBob has to save Sandy. But what I'm gonna do is save you guys from watching the episode and just show you the mistakes. Here's the first one.
Sandy! Oh, it's not opening.
Now this one is very hard to catch. You gotta pay close attention, okay? But after SpongeBob says, it's not opening, there is a white spot that flashes for a split second under his right arm. Not that big of a deal, I'll admit, but it's still there and it's still a bit of an animation mistake. A very forgivable one, but hey, it's still a mistake. And guys, there's one more in this episode, but stay tuned as the next episode has a wild mistake.
Did we save Sandy?
No, Patrick. we didn't.
This one is just like really funny, okay? So hear this one out. As we've seen in the episode, SpongeBob and all of these sea creatures are not able to breathe in Texas because they're sea creatures. They need to be in water or they die. I mean, we even see what happens to them in Tea at the Tree Dome with Sandy when SpongeBob and Patrick go in the Tree Dome without helmets. They like almost die. This is a big part of SpongeBob lore or canon, but if you watch the episode Rodeo Days, SpongeBob and all of the sea creatures, despite not being able to breathe in Texas, just continue to live their lives normally as if there's nothing wrong. These guys would die. But anyways, let's head over to another episode, guys. These upcoming mistakes are going to blow your mind.
Legend has it that their curiosity got the best of them. And they pulled the plug. The entire ocean rushed into the drain and sucked those two kids right down with it.
The Main Drain is an interesting season 7 episode. I mean, it's not a bad one, it's not a good one at the same time, but it does have 2 mistakes. Take a look at the first one.
Safety!
What in Neptune's bathtub do you think you're doing, lad?
If you caught that one, I'm very proud of you, but take a look at this lever right here beside this freezer. Remember it as it disappears when SpongeBob puts the danger sign on the floor. First it's there, as you can see here, but then when SpongeBob puts this danger sign down, it's just gone. Almost as if the animators forgot to draw it the second time. Pretty weird, but wait until you hear mistake number 2.
Why don't I wait? One sec. Time for a scary story, boys.
Where is the main drain, Mr. Krabs?
Mistake number 2 is just as weird. So, when Mr. Krabs turns off the lights, there's this light switch right here on the left side, alright? But when Mr. Krabs eventually finishes his story, the light switch suddenly changes positions. Yeah, very messy scene. It's not that big of a deal, and the mistakes I'm going to be covering later on in this video are much better than this one, but it's still a mistake, guys. Anyways, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, it's me. SpongeBob, fry cook extraordinaire.
Hello.
I know your secret.
What? Who told you?
Oh, a little cashier told me. Follow me.
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
Moron.
I've said this many times before, but SpongeBob Season 6 has a lot of hit or miss episodes, and one of those episodes that's right in the middle, it's just mid, it ain't bad, it ain't good, is Gullible Pants. This episode does have some good in it, especially the dancing scenes of SpongeBob, so take a look at these really funny clips of SpongeBob dancing. And then it's time for some mistakes. Then we're gonna be exposing some mistakes, alright? Here's the funny clips though first.
What the? SpongeBob dancing like a goofball?
And a hey, and a ho, and a hey, and a ho, and a hey ho, ha ho, hey ho, ha ho.
Alright, it's time for the mistakes, guys. Let's do the mistakes.
452, 453, 454.
This is one where you guys really need to pay attention for it to make sense. So, in the opening shot of the Krusty Krab dining area, we can see Incidental 114 right here. And my boy is dressed up in a light blue shirt, looking fresh, Incidental 114. But as the scene progresses, moments later, when Mr. Krabs looks at the dining like a periscope, Incidental 114 has completely changed his drip and is now wearing like a brown-green shirt. There's another one in this episode that's fairly common in SpongeBob, so you guys should easily be able to catch this one. Roll the footage.
Come on, let's go. You don't want to miss this.
What's he doing? He's dancing!
This one is a classic SpongeBob mistake. So when SpongeBob stops the customers with his awesome dancing, the chum bucket, which normally is across the street, as you guys can see in this shot, normally the chum bucket is directly across from the Krusty Krab. But in this shot of Gullible Pants, not only is the chum bucket, but also the path to the chum bucket, they're both missing from across the street, which is totally a mistake. It's a common mistake, but it's totally a mistake. Now, I've got more SpongeBob for you guys, but but you know what time it is? It's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a quick break from SpongeBob to talk about mistakes in a random cartoon suggested by you guys. And then we go right back to SpongeBob. Don't worry, we're going right back to your favorite spongy boy. Today we're going to do Bluey, more specifically the episode Pass the Parcel. For some context, this right here is a Chattermax. It's a toy that belongs to the character Pom Pom. The mistake revolves around this, okay? Roll the clip. Did you guys catch it? Well, in the final scene of Missy's party, it seems that Pom Pom's Chattermax is like misaligned. As if you look closely, it looks like she stuck her hand through the toy when she should just be holding it, making for a bit of a weird mistake, guys. And let's head back over to good old-fashioned SpongeBob.
As if the answers to all your problems will fall right out of the sky.
Dude, we're falling right out of the sky!
We're back to SpongeBob, and the episode is Club SpongeBob, all right? Roll that footage and let's see if you guys can spot this mistake. Pay attention to the character's arms.
Can I have something to eat?
No. Oh.
Yeah, this one's a classic, but as you guys seen in those clips, Squidward is the one holding the magic conch shell. But when we get this zoomed in shot, why is his arm yellow? Yeah, this was a massive mistake. They incorrectly colored Squidward's arm as yellow. I guess they thought that SpongeBob was the one holding it, but no, it was Squidward, and yeah, massive mistake.
Good morning, Mr. Squidward. So, are you ready?
To go home.
Coming in hot, we've got a classic episode, Dying for Pie. This episode is all about Squidward getting SpongeBob a pie that turns out to be a bomb. This dude nearly killed SpongeBob. It's a good episode, so I really hate to call it out for having mistakes. There's only one we're gonna be talking about today though anyways, and here's a hint, it has to do with music or like audio, all right? Roll the footage. So to be fair, you kind of have to understand music to get this one, but in the beginning scene where Squidward plays the piano, the note that he plays makes the sound of a D. I know this because I personally do music. That sound is definitely a D. As a matter of fact, here's a D sound effect. And yeah, you know they're the same now, but if you actually look, Squidward is animated to be pressing an F note, which sounds like this. So not a crazy mistake here, but still technically a mistake. That's not the right note. I'm nitpicking though, and let's keep it moving over to some real mistakes. These next mistakes are really gonna blow your brain.
I love Krabby Patties! I think that's hell!
We've got a very sad episode coming up next. It's Banned in Bikini Bottom, and this episode is all about Krabby Patties literally becoming banned in Bikini Bottom, which is just insane. What is Bubble Bass gonna do? You know Mr. Krabs was stressing, but anyways, try to comment the mistake before I reveal it. I wanna see if you guys can spot it before I show you what it is, but yeah, roll the footage.
Happy day, Karen! That fool Krabs changed the name of his restaurant to the Clothes Crab!
When Plankton looks out his window to see the Krusty Krab, we know that the Chum Bucket's there because he's looking from the Chum Bucket. The road that normally follows up to the Chum Bucket's door is missing, which isn't a big deal, but it's still a mistake. Like, that path is always there. They can't just decide it's not there anymore. Weird mistake. Let's keep it moving though, guys, and head over to another episode with spicy mistakes. Lots of good stuff coming up, guys, and it's gonna get worse as we go. The episode Boat Smarts is kind of a weird episode. It isn't a regular one. It's pretty much like a safety documentary by Mrs. Puff that stars SpongeBob and Squidward in it. And it's actually like a really good episode in my opinion. It's short but sweet. Of course though, you guys know what's coming. I'm gonna ruin this episode. It has some mistakes. Here's the first one.
As demonstrated by this driver, he has enough boat smarts to use his seatbelt and avoid a serious casualty as a result of a collision. What's What's our boat smarts boater up to now? You guessed it. He's adjusting his mirror.
It's kind of funny, but at the beginning of this episode, Squidward, he's in his boat, and his boat has no mirrors, okay? We're looking at this boat, there's no mirrors on this boat. But then as the episode progresses, and I want to make it clear, Squidward is in the same boat as the beginning of the episode, this one mirror just randomly appears on the left side. It wasn't there before, and to make things worse, when he starts driving, he now randomly has 2 mirrors. Again, we go back to the beginning of the episode, he had none, and it's the same boat. And then, guys, believe it or not, later on in the episode, all of the mirrors just disappear again. Very messy mistake realistically, and yeah, don't know what else to say about it. This one's pretty bad.
You must be SpongeBob SquarePants!
Yes?
Dude, you are like a fry cook legend! Will you sign my spatula?
Anything for an aspiring fry cook. So, did you come down to help out the cause?
No, I came to take your job.
Next up, we have another classic. I'm talking about Squid on Strike, a season 2 banger. This is the era of SpongeBob that I just love. But because the episode's so funny, why not? Here are a couple of funny clips, and then we're gonna get right into those bad mistakes.
Wow! All this supporting is making me hungry!
Hey, everybody, let's go get a Krabby Patty.
I'm ruined without you and the little yellow guy. The teenagers I hired is ruining the place. They won't leave me alone.
All right, Mr. Krabs!
See what I mean?
All right, it's mistake time, baby. I feel bad exposing mistakes in such a good episode, but here's the first one.
Hey, Squidward, I bet old man Krabs is gonna break any day. Yeah, Squidward, yeah, Squidward, yeah, Squidward. Yeah, Squidward.
Did you guys catch it? It has to do with the sign Squidward's holding. So, as you guys just saw, Squidward imagines himself as like an old man, all right? And at first in this, imagination scene, it doesn't actually happen. It's Squidward's imagination. His sign reads, Krusty still unfair, all right? Remember, Krusty still unfair. But seconds later, in the same imagination scene, when SpongeBob starts orbiting around Squidward, it now randomly reads, Krabs still unfair. Here's a side-by-side. First it said, Krusty, as in Krusty Krabs, is still unfair, and then it just changes to Krabs still unfair. So totally a mistake here. And here's another one from the same episode.
And me and Squidward are gonna stay on strike.
I'm glad you saw it our way, Mr. Krabs.
Now I can fire them teenagers and get me 2 golden boys back.
This one's funny. So Mr. Krabs has a very unique walking cycle where he his stubby legs pat back and forth. It's like, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I know I sound insane, but I'm showing you this because it's a part of a mistake. As when Mr. Krabs walks into the destruction of the Krusty Krab, he just walks like a normal person when this is not his walking cycle. Yeah, let's keep it moving though, guys. But first, it's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a very quick break from SpongeBob. Don't worry, we're gonna get right back to SpongeBob to talk about a random cartoon recommended by you guys. But today, we're gonna do Gravity Falls. The episode is called Double Dipper, and it has to do with the silly spring that the character Mabel, this is Mabel right here, remember, sprays Dipper, this is the character Dipper, with. All right, roll the footage.
Do you realize what this means?
Did you guys catch it? Well, if we pay close attention to the silly string thingy that shoots out of it, it's supposed to come from the nozzle of the bottle, but it just squirts out from below, appearing to just come out of nowhere, making for somewhat of an animation mistake. Now let's head back to SpongeBob, baby. Back to SpongeBob we go.
I'm back! Where's my baby?
You really want to know?
We've got a very new episode of SpongeBob coming up next. It's Base Word from season 14, and we're gonna go right in for it. Here's the first mistake.
Squidward, don't tell me you're going to the Jetsam City Comic Convention too.
So first things first, let's take a look at this PNG of our favorite nerd, Bubble Bass. You know, I like to say that, but I'm a total nerd myself. But anyways, Bubble Bass. Remember how he looks? More specifically, remember that he has this fin right here. As when Bubble Bass is seen for the first time in Baseword or Bassword. I actually just realized it's Bassword, not Baseword. Look, he's missing that fin. The animators just forgot to draw it. Now, to be fair, for the rest of the episode, he has the fin, as you can see here. But for this one shot, the fin is missing, and boy, oh boy, is that a mistake.
If you're gonna work here, you'll need an official Krusty Krab hat. Say, that's a pretty neat trick. I'm gonna get some extra mayonnaise from the back.
No mayonnaise!
Okay.
Coming in hot, first up is the episode Planet of the Jellyfish, which in my opinion is an episode that isn't talked about a lot when it comes to SpongeBob. The episode's pretty good. Of course though, it has some mistakes. It has 2 to be exact. Here's the first one.
Whoa, look at all the customers.
1 Krabby Patty, hold the mayonnaise. Thank you. Come again. Brah! Don't you want a cute little jellyfish?
No, thanks.
You can use this jelly as a pillow.
Oh, that's okay. I have one at home.
So take a look at this dude over here, Incidental 27. As you can see, he has a tail fin. It's right here, all right? You can see it right here. Well, the mistake is that when SpongeBob first enters the Krusty Krab during this scene, Incidental 27 is missing that tail fin. It was there in this shot later on in the episode when he's seen growling at SpongeBob, he has his tail again, well, his fin tail again. Yeah, definitely a mistake here. For this one shot, it's just missing, and that's not supposed to happen. This next mistake also wasn't supposed to happen. Keep those eyes peeled and let's see if you guys can spot it.
Look at him, the little angel. Good morning, sleepyhead. We wouldn't want anything to happen to you while I'm at work. You better stay in here where it's safe.
Did you guys catch it? Well, take a look at our favorite little snail over here, Gary. More specifically, his shell and the colors on his shell. As you can see, the shell is pink, and then there's like these purple or bluish dots on it, and then there's like this red swirl on it, right? All right, you can see it right here. Well, whoever animated this episode needs to be educated on our favorite little snail, as just before Gary is engulfed by a gelin, take a look at this dude's shell, as that's not right. The colors have been inverted. I'm gonna do a side-by-side. This is how it's supposed to look on the left. Yeah, on the right, that is a mistake. It's not supposed to look like that. Gary, you poor snail. But let's head over to another episode, guys, with more mistakes. Let's go. Okay, so I love this next episode. It's called The Executive Treatment, and it's so interesting because it's a Patrick episode. This is before Patrick got his own show, and you can actually see little bits of the Patrick Star Show in this episode. Anyways, here's some clips. It's a good episode.
Hey, how's that new executive treatment sandwich treating you? Because it's hitting all the quadrants of my hunger markets.
Quadrants.
You know, it reminds me of something I was saying about business the other day.
The satisfaction earnings of the 4th quarter of my lunch are off the charts. I guess I'll have one of these business sandwiches everybody's talking about.
Carl, what are you doing standing around at a time like this? We're going to be late for the big brainstorming meeting.
What do you give a disappointed stockholder to make him feel better?
A sandwich?
Dude, like I said, it's a really good episode. I love Patrick episodes, and I actually think the Patrick Star Show is underrated. People like to just hate on that show, but anyways, I'm getting off track. Let's get to the mistake. Take a look at this. Keep those eyes peeled.
A surprise for you!
Where'd he go?
You can't fire me! I'm not an executive at all! So go ahead! Send me away
away forever as a corporate spy if you want to, but not before I've had my say.
So, this is the character Marv. He has a prominent role in this episode, and at one point, he stamps void on Patrick's head and he's sent home, okay? Remember this. Marv is sent home, but then he's seen again after Patrick reveals that he's not an executive. So, like, talk about a strange continuity error. Like, the dude was sent home, but I guess the animators forgot about this plot point and then drew him again despite the fact that he was sent home. So, bad mistake. Anyways, let's move over to episode number 4. When SpongeBob and an executive chef trade jobs in a cultural exchange program, in the episode La Big Switch, SpongeBob does not start out very well with his new establishment, as the owner is really rude to him and only wants him to cook items that are not Krabby Patties. From here, the owner continues to give SpongeBob a hard time. That is until he actually tries a Krabby Patty, realizing how delicious it tastes. And from here, things go well, with SpongeBob completing the program successfully. It's a neat episode that I recommend watching, but of course, we're here to spot mistakes, so let's talk about some mistakes. When SpongeBob puts the bag of Krabby Patties in his briefcase, the bag is colored as red. As you can see here, it's red. However, if you look closely during the next shot, the bag has magically changed to brown, making for something that isn't that big of a deal, but it's still a mistake. Like, this is a mistake. I guess, red to brown isn't that big of a change, but it's a mistake. Here's a clip.
These babies also belong to the Krusty Krab. So long.
All right, just one more.
I'm sorry, but I got to go. Don't have time to wait in line. Sorry, but I can't be late today.
Ooh, what the? Hey!
Sorry, everyone, but Mr. Krabs needs me. Reporting for duty, sir.
First up is going to be Truth or Square, which is quite literally almost a SpongeBob movie. This episode is almost over an hour long, but it's only really considered to be a TV special. Now, it's a good one. It has a lot of good moments, but it also has tons of mistakes, so let's dive into the first one. Take a look at this.
There it is! SpongeBob's house!
Well, hello! Are you okay, mister?
Did you guys catch it? It's pretty blatant. But when SpongeBob says, "Are you okay?" in Patchy's dream, the right side of this dude's pants is just transparent. It's entirely see-through, dude. Like, what? This one is a pretty bad mistake, guys. Like, the animators completely forgot to color in this part of his pants, which is ridiculous. But hold up, guys, there's more. Here's another mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch this one.
There it is! I'm coming for you, square pants!
I'm ready!
It's ready!
Ready!
Go to work!
Oh, you little scalawag! Just having some technical difficulties. Don't these!
Now, as any hardcore SpongeBob fan knows, a big part of these specials is Patchy the Pirate. I love this dude, which, fun fact, Patchy the Pirate is actually Tom Kenny, who is the voice actor of SpongeBob. Very interesting. But anyways, this next mistake has to do with Patchy, as when he's shaking around in the whale, take a look at this, his hand gets slightly cut off. It looks kind of rough, but this one isn't that big of a deal. This next mistake though, this one you guys don't want to miss. Roll the footage.
Oh, Krusty Krab, oh, Krusty Krab. Oh, how I love you, Krusty Krab. Oh, Krusty Krab, you've always been there for me. When I'm tired and hungry, I just reach out my hand And there you are. Are you with me, people? Yeah! In that case, let's get some Krabby Patty!
Alright, so take a look at this. When SpongeBob sings "Oh Krusty Krab," look over here. We can see the path to the chum bucket. It's right there, right? We can see it. The path is right there. But during this scene near the end, where did it go? The path is just gone now. First it was there during this scene where SpongeBob sings, but then near the ending of the episode, it's just gone. Almost as if the animators forgot about the path in this last scene, which is totally a mistake. And guess what, guys? Here's another one from this special. Truth or Square has a lot of mistakes.
Remember the day Sandy and I got married?
What? No. I'm freaking out!
SpongeBob, do you take Sandy as your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
And Sandy, do you take SpongeBob as your lawfully wedded husband?
And how?
Well then, I now pronounce you Sponge and Squirrel.
You stink! Worst play I've ever seen!
So for this one to really make sense, let's take a look at a general shot of Sandy Cheeks over here, our favorite squirrel. So as you can see, there's this patch of tan fur on her torso. And as you can also see, it normally extends to above her chest, all right? It looks like this tan fur right here. But if we take a look at Sandy in her wedding dress in this scene, the way that her fur looks is just different. The patch of tan fur on her torso just doesn't extend this time. Like, look, here's a side-by-side and I'm circling the areas and you guys can kind of see the mistake here. Not that big of a deal, but let's head over to another special, guys, with even worse mistakes. These mistakes coming up are bad. When Patrick finds himself appointed as the new king of Bikini Bottom in the appropriately titled episode Rule of Dumb, he completely abuses his power and pushes all of his friends away, including SpongeBob. Now in the end, Patrick realizes that he's become a monster and eventually decides to return the crown. It's a solid episode, and the mirror scene with Patrick is awesome. But if we rewind to an earlier point in the episode, we can find a little slip up. When Patrick gets kicked out of the Krusty Krab due to not paying for his meals, the Krusty Krab sign is awkwardly missing. I guess the art team was feeling a little lazy that day. Here's a clip.
That is correct. Anything you want, and it's all free.
All free? Nobody eats in any restaurant for free. King or no king?
Are you gonna eat that?
I was planning to. Why?
I want it.
Hey! What gives you the right to take my food?
First up is the episode Cookie Cooks. A very weird episode, but with a pretty funny plot. Here, take a look.
Her and I will have the kelp consomme to start, followed by the sargasso salad. And the sweet and sour algae.
Got one last thing to try. Waiter, there's an eyelash in me soup.
This is so embarrassing.
Wait! Oh no, don't go, sweetie bird!
Yeah, Mr. Krabs got himself in some trouble with his wifey, Mrs. Puff, in this episode. Really funny. But don't worry, he has a plan and brings her over to his house for dinner. And this is where we can find our first mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Oh, the sparkling cider is extra fizzy tonight.
Now you just relax, Puffkins, while I consult with me very expensive private chefs.
This one is really bad, but for about one frame, what's going on with Mr. Krabs? It's like some of his body's cropped, like the top of his eyes, the side of his claw, and that ain't even it, as there's another mistake in this episode. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
How are we supposed to cook anything with this junk?
What are you talking about? This is high-quality Navy surplus here. So maybe it's a little outdated. Now just get cooking, and the dinner had better be fantastic, or else.
This one is just, like, weird, as, look, where's Mr. Krabs' mouth? It's a weird animation error here. You can tell there's something going on with the animation. And we've got another one. Take a look.
Just let me check the quality, my dear.
Let go of my grab, Bob! I'm famished! That's not food! That's SpongeBob!
Now this one is really easy to miss since it only happens for one frame, but boom, Mr. Krabs' claw detaches from his hand. For a whole frame, it looks very odd and was definitely a mistake. And hey, I've got even crazier mistakes coming up, so stay tuned.
And my favorite is the plaintive song of the blue whale.
Huh? Did you hear that?
What's wrong, Frank?
That song. It sounds just like Martha.
Frank, how many times do I have to tell you? Martha's no good for you. She's just no good.
This one is hilarious. It's from the episode You Don't Know Sponge, and it has to do with our boy Larry's shorts. Watch this.
And he's hanging out with Larry the lobster? Maybe I don't know much about Patrick either.
You guys probably caught it, but Larry over here, when he first enters the store, is wearing his signature swim trunks, alright? I want to go swimming now. But as he approaches this blender, if we look closely and zoom in on his shorts that are behind the table, they're just randomly black. The animators just completely forgot to give them color. Does it look funny? Yes. Is it a mistake? Also yes. And here's another one from this episode.
Patrick didn't know anything about you, and he's supposed to be your best friend.
I know. It's like we're not friends at all.
Now, Patrick may not have passed the quiz, but like a true best friend, he's always right here for me, right? Patrick? Patrick?
So, when SpongeBob says the line you guys just heard, now Patrick may not have passed the quiz, look, their legs are missing. Their legs are just not there. It's kind of a weird angle. I can understand why they didn't draw them, but they're gone. Crazy how many mistakes there are in SpongeBob, man. It's like endless, so let's keep it moving. Another episode, baby, let's go.
Back in your seat. Trays in upright position. Head between your knees. Your mama can't save you now.
The episode, Goons on the Moon, is a really good episode. I actually love this episode. There's so many funny scenes. I think even Santa Claus shows up at one point in this episode randomly. So funny. Really good episode. I recommend it. But this episode has an issue, and as you guys can guess, it has some mistakes, guys. It has two cheeky mistakes. Here's the first one.
Oh, shrimp. Now where am I? Maybe this one?
Are y'all ready to go nuts for some hokey hoo-ha?
Third time's a charm?
Now this one isn't that big of a deal, and it's honestly very easy to miss, but in this scene where Squidward is in the moon crater, the Krusty Krab delivery bag disappears and reappears constantly throughout the entire scene. It'll be there, then it's not there, then it's there again, and then it isn't there. And considering they're on the moon, I doubt like it's being put away and then being brought out randomly like this constantly, so this was definitely a mistake. There's some scenes where the animators forgot to draw the bag. And that ain't it for this episode. There's another mistake.
Everything okay back there, SpongeBob? Perfection!
Now we just wait for a gust of wind. Why don't we just push the moon back?
Now this one is really bad because I want you guys to remember that these dudes are in space, okay? They're in space, right? So in this scene where SpongeBob is having trouble putting on a seatbelt, we can see that he's barefoot. He isn't wearing any socks or shoes or nothing. However though, when they end up making a sale of clothes, SpongeBob now randomly has socks. Where did he get the socks from? Like, where did they come from? They're in space. This man didn't just get space socks randomly, so a bit of a mistake. I'll admit, the mistakes in this episode were kind of a week, but trust me guys, this next episode is full of wild mistakes. Next up is Patrick Man, and this episode's pretty good, but of course, I mean, it's in this video, it has a mistake, guys. Every episode of SpongeBob pretty much has a mistake, but here's this episode's mistake. Let's see if you can catch it.
Another Krabby Patty for the gentleman.
Thank you. Let's hope Patrick Man doesn't confiscate this one.
Patrick is taking things too far.
Hey, that's Patrick Man to you.
What are you doing out there?
Something a non-hero civilian could never understand. No! Away with the swiftness! Villains and criminals beware! Patrick Man is here!
Did you catch it? Well, if you didn't, let me give you some context. This right here is Patrick Man, and as you can see, he has a backward P on his attire. It's a part of his outfit. It's there whenever we see Patrick in this outfit, but when he appears in this kitchen right here, where is the backwards P? It's gone. It's just disappeared. The animators just didn't draw it. First it's there, but in this one shot, I guess they just weren't feeling it. They weren't feeling it, and it's not there. So yeah, mistake. Let's keep it moving though, guys. I have another episode with more wild mistakes. Next episode is A Space Affair to Remember. Another episode of the Patrick Star Show, as I just said. This one is pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of the plot, I guess. I mean, the episode's fun, don't get it twisted, but I don't know. I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. Here are some clips summarizing the episode.
We got you something for your special day! Reservations to the Acropolis All-You-Can Eatorium! Enjoy the finest cuisine in ancient Greece! Best be on your way!
Gee willikers! Who knew ancient Greece was so spacious?
Well, what did you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's a good plot? I don't know. But what I know that isn't good in this episode is this mistake. There's only one, and it happens quick, but it's still a really bad mistake. Take a look.
Never before in the history of this contest have I seen anything so incredibly weird!
Congratulations! You're officially weirdos!
This is the perfect anniversary.
Yeah, it's a shame the kids aren't here to see it.
There are more of you? Please welcome your children!
We kinda had a house party while you guys were gone. Are you mad? Not at all, son. Your mother and I had the best time we've had in years.
So here's the deal. When Benny and Cecil tell Patrick about their day at the space station, half of Bunny's lipstick appears to be missing. It happens really quickly. Like, here's a shot of her with the lipstick normal. It covers her whole, like, you know, her lips. But here's the shot where half of it's missing. Like, I don't even know how the animators made this mistake. It's a very strange one, but yeah, it's a mistake for sure.
SpongeBob?
This looks like a job for Old Reliable.
Up next, we have a very underrated episode of SpongeBob, the Pink Purloiner, a tragic episode where SpongeBob thinks that Patrick has stolen his jellyfishing net. Like, they get into a whole beef. Here's some clips of them disagreeing, and then we're gonna get into this episode's first mistake.
And I'll start with my trusty jellyfishing net, Old Reliable. Patrick!
I'm all done.
Maybe we should spread out a little. Oh, hello, hello!
SpongeBob, did you get your net back?
Oh, get off the line, Patrick. Someone might be trying to call about Oh Reliable. Gets to practice in the middle of the night with his jellyfishing net. Funny thing is, Patrick's net disintegrated yesterday.
A present? What is it?
It's a Confess-A-Bear. He's a special friend you tell all your secrets to. Tell Confess-A-Bear now!
I accidentally knocked SpongeBob's toothbrush into the toilet, and then I put it back on the counter without washing it. Yeah, in a second.
Oh, Reliable. Huh.
Hello.
What's in your hand, Patrick? Well, I gotta go.
You can't have it for any price.
And why not?
My friend SpongeBob. SpongeBob!
You no-good jellyfishing net thief!
How could you think that? Gift.
What?
It's my friend SpongeBob's gift.
Poor Patrick, man, he didn't even steal anything. I know I just spoiled the episode, but he didn't actually steal anything, just saying. Anyways, though, here's the first mistake.
Good night, Patrick.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Did you guys catch it? It's kind of funny. But when SpongeBob and Patrick arrive at their houses and SpongeBob opens his door, there's like a duplicate door behind it for a couple of seconds before it disappears. When of course, there should only be one door. I don't think I even need to tell you guys that. It happens really quickly, pretty funny. Not as funny as this next mistake though. Roll the clip.
Patrick, don't go! I'm sorry I accused you.
Oh, it's you two. Look, you left your net on the bus again.
I'm staying in Bikini Bottom.
You need to pay close attention to catch this one, and we'll definitely need to slow things down and pause for you guys to even see it because it happens so fast. But at the very end of the episode, after the bus takes off, one of these passengers' faces changes colors. It's this dude right here. First, he's colored like this, but then once the animation starts of the bus moving away, it quickly just changes and his face is now this color. Here's a side-by-side, and bro, that looks really awkward. How does the dude's face change? I'm genuinely curious on how this mistake even happened from an animation standpoint. Like, I'm no animator, but this wasn't like a layering issue. It's just very, very strange. Let's keep it moving though, guys. We've got lots of episodes coming up. One of my favorite season 2 episodes is Procrastination, an episode where SpongeBob needs to write an essay, but the dude just cannot focus. He just cannot get any work done.
Gee, this is harder than I thought.
Come on, SpongeBob!
It should be against the law to have to write an essay on such a super sailorific sunshiny day.
Now, this episode has two really funny mistakes. Now, the first one has to do with SpongeBob's face. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
Hands! You get back here this instant! Hands!
Where is SpongeBob's mouth? It's just missing. I think he needs his mouth. Now, the other isn't as bad, but let's see if you can catch this one. It has to do with SpongeBob's pants, more specifically his belt.
I'm choking! Water! That was a close one.
Yeah, like I said, not that big of a deal, but SpongeBob's belt is supposed to be all black, but one of the parts of his belt is white. Not that big of a deal, but still a mistake.
Hey, Mr. Krabs, what's a good word?
Well, actually, SpongeBob, there's 2 words. And they're not very good. You're fired.
Let's head over to season 9 for this next one. The episode is SpongeBob You're Fired, an episode all about, well, SpongeBob getting fired. He gets canned, bro, and has to go and work at all of these different fast food restaurants. Like, I'm gonna get into the mistake really quickly, but also real quick, here's a little highlight of all of the different places he works at. I'll make it really quick, and then we're getting right to the mistakes.
What in the name of Davy Jones's gym shorts are these?
They're weenie patties.
What have you done? You turned an innocent pizza into a pizza patty!
It's some sort of burrito patty.
And take your noodle patty with you!
Yeah, SpongeBob gets around in this episode, and now I'm just hungry. Like, all of these different places, like a hot dog place, I'm hungry. But anyways, what I'm also hungry for are these mistakes. Here's the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here I am wallowing in my misery, and it's past your dinner time. Sorry, Gary, you must be starving. Don't worry, Gare Bear. I'll open up a can of snail po for you. Oh no, we're all out of snail po.
This is another complicated one where you guys gotta pay close attention. So when SpongeBob goes into the cupboard to get some snail food for Gary the first time, if one looks closely, one can see that there are multiple cans inside right here. Look at all of those cans of food. Gary's fed for weeks, but we have a continuity error as when the scene progresses and when SpongeBob says, I'll open up a can of snail po for you, while opening the same cupboard, now it's empty, and I highly doubt that that SpongeBob just fed all of these cans. I'm showing it on screen, the original shot of the cupboard. All of these cans of food, I highly doubt he fed all of them to Gary in a matter of seconds. So this was a continuity error. First, there were a ton of cans, as you can see, and then the shelf is just empty. Like, what? Weird mistake, and here's another one.
It just won't be the same around here without you. You'll have to visit sometime. As a customer. Bye-bye now. Sayonara. Good riddance.
This one's not that big of a deal, but I noticed it while watching through the episode. So, when SpongeBob is forced out of the Krusty Krab by Squidward, if we look inside, there are no tables at all. When just take a look at this random clip from the Krusty Krab from another episode, there's always tables inside the restaurant. So it's very weird that in this one scene when Squidward's kicking SpongeBob out, that there's no tables, which is most likely a mistake. And guys, it doesn't end here. I've got another episode, and this is where things are gonna get wild. Animators should have gotten fired for these upcoming mistakes, okay? It's rough. Our next set of mistakes can be found in the episode, Can You Spare a Dime? An episode where Squidward quits his job, and well, this happens. He ends up living with SpongeBob and pushing it way too far.
Spare change. Spare change, ma'am.
Squidward? Squidward, is that you?
I've lost my job, my home, everything!
Even your paintings?
Nobody would take them, so I had to eat them!
There. You can come live with me.
Okay, but just till I get a job. 1 day, 2 days tops.
Nonsense. You stay as long as you need to.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting, and they had to hire a new one.
I know he still isn't looking for work. Don't rub it in.
Yeah, like I said, Squidward takes things way too far and kind of takes advantage of SpongeBob's kindness, eventually leading to these next set of clips. And there's also a mistake hidden in these clips. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
It's about time you got here!
Here you go, Your Majesty.
I can't drink that.
Why not?
That lemon has 3 seeds in it. That's an odd number!
Because when I need a job done, I get someone with a job to do that job!
What are you saying?
So here's the thing. This is how SpongeBob gets to the Krusty Krab. He comes out of his house and he goes to the left. We've seen this in many episodes, right? The Krusty Krab is to the left of SpongeBob's house. But in this one shot, SpongeBob goes the complete opposite way. He goes to the right, which is definitely a mistake.
Welcome to my Emporium of Wonders. Can I interest you in a traditional Klapnadian Spladunker? Or perhaps a lightly used Fluna?
Here's a quick one from another season 13 episode, You're Going to Pay Phone, and it has to do with the Krusty Krab's back door. Take a look at this.
Hey, Squidward, get that hunk of junk out of here, would you? Come on.
Gladly.
I sound like a total SpongeBob nerd by even pointing this out, but hopefully you guys caught it, alright? Yeah, so the back of the Krusty Krab, this door right here, does not look like this. It's completely incorrect in this episode. And to show you, take a look at it in this scene from Shell of a Man, or this episode, The Splinter, where we can see Patrick standing in the dumpster beside it, look at the door. Here's even one more example so you guys know I'm not capping. Look at this shot from the episode, The Other Patty, alright? Look at this. Like I said, I sound like a total nerd. Here's a side-by-side. Yeah, how it looks in You're Going to Pay Phone is not correct. Totally a mistake, and I don't know who drew the door like that because it don't look like that. As most of you know, our favorite squid, Squidward Tentacles, absolutely loves to dance. However, he isn't alone in the season 5 episode, Slimy Dancing, with SpongeBob and Patrick participating with him in a dance contest. Well, they try, as in the end, both Patrick and Squidward are not able to compete, only SpongeBob is. But due to Squidward wanting the trophy so bad, like he really wants it, he literally goes inside SpongeBob's body and uses his body as a costume, just so he can compete in the contest. Quite the ridiculous plot, but hey, it's still pretty darn funny, and a really fun episode overall. It does have a mistake though. It's pretty rough. But when SpongeBob and Patrick help Squidward get up from the floor, Patrick's mouth, his whole mouth, is missing for a single frame. I don't know where it went. It does come back, but talk about a rough mistake. Here's a clip.
SpongeBob?
You're just not getting into the spirit of this thing, Squidward.
Oh, help me out.
How'd the audition go, Squidward?
The audition? My trophy?
Hey! I want to learn how to do that!
Well, what, you mean karate?
Uh-huh.
We're heading over to season 7 for this next one, and this episode is not liked by the SpongeBob community very much. It's Karate Star. I personally don't think that the episode is that bad, but a lot of fans just do not like this one. Mainly due to the plot, but surprise, surprise, the episode itself also has a bunch of mistakes, and let's get right into them. Here's the first one in Grapple Gang. Try to guess what the mistake is before I reveal it. Try to comment what the mistake is before I actually say what it is. I know you guys can do it. Anyways, roll that footage.
Oh, what's this? I haven't seen this before. Oh, yeah.
Hey, look, it's Patrick!
Hiya, SpongeBob!
What are you doing in there, Neptune!
So this one's weird, alright? Let's take a look at the Krusty Krab from the outside, and you'll notice that the Krusty Krab doors have these yellow handles on them, alright? It's been there ever since the first ever episode, and it's just how the doors look, man, alright? It's how they look. But in the clips you guys just saw, when Patrick chops through the Krusty Krab doors with his karate, or his karate, those yellow handles do not appear on the floor, when they really should. Like, this mistake is a bit of a nitpick on my end, and I can understand why the animators were a little too lazy to put the handles in this shot, but it's still technically a mistake.
Lipids and cream.
We're all out. In fact, we're out of everything.
Alright, mistake number 3. So as you guys saw in the clips, Patrick over here orders a delicious ice cream, alright? I could go for some ice cream right now. Comment down below, Grapple Gang, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Mine is cookie dough. But anyways, when Patrick orders his large ice cream, the amount of scoops on his ice cream inconsistently change in between shots. For example, when he first gets it, it looks like this, and there's this many scoops. But when the shot changes, look, so do the scoops of ice cream. Not a huge deal, but this one is most certainly a mistake, and hey, mistakes happen sometimes. It's a 2D animated show, but I caught ya. And let's catch more heading over to another episode. And guys, stay tuned because the mistakes are only gonna get crazier as we go. I'm saving the craziest mistakes for the end.
I'll be returning to my grown-up lifestyle, so keep it down! Get out,
Squidward! Let's do another quick one from the episode Squid Baby. Let's get right into it. Here's the first mistake.
We have to work on your penmanship, Squiddy.
My face! My face! Also my leg, but mostly my face!
This one's definitely going to need some explaining. This character right here is Incidental 106, and he's colored like this. Remember these colors, alright? This right here is Incidental 107, and he's colored like this. After Baby Squidward scribbles all over Incidental 41's face, we get a shot of Incidental 106, but this time he's colored incorrectly. For some reason, they made a mess up, and they swapped Incidental 106 with Incidental 107's colors. What? Here's another mistake from Squid Baby. This one's interesting. We may have covered this one before, so I'm going to make it very, very quick. But when SpongeBob and Patrick yell, Squiddy, not only is SpongeBob missing his arms, which might be more of a comedic effect, but a piece of his bottom is missing at the bottom of the screen. This is definitely a mistake. You can see the animation glitches and it's just cut off or something. Really, really weird. We ain't done yet though, guys. Let's head over to another episode. So many mistakes in today's video.
Walking. Hungry, thirsty.
Next up, we have the episode Home Sweet Pineapple, and here's the thing, guys. Cartoon Corey has been on a quest to cover all the mistakes in every single Season 1 episode. I've been doing it slowly throughout multiple videos. Some videos will be focused on like one episode. Some videos, like this one, for example, I'll have a small section, and right now, we're gonna cover every single mistake, every one, in the episode Home Sweet Pineapple. We're looking at like nearly 10 mistakes in this one episode alone. Here's the first one, roll the clip.
worry. We're finally huge.
So that first one is pretty straightforward. First of all, though, take a look at this. This is a shot of SpongeBob's bed from another episode, all right? And one thing you'll notice is that the bed has a back. Well, the bed frame has like this back part. Well, in this episode, at the beginning of it, when SpongeBob sits upon his bed in Home Sweet Pineapple, the back of his bed just like disappears, dude. Like, here's a side-by-side of it from another episode as well. And just like, yeah, I don't know why they just didn't draw the back of his bed. So weird. It's always there, and then randomly it isn't here in this one shot. Very strange. Here's mistake number 2.
What?
Squidward, can we stay here a couple of days or a month or two?
Oh, yeah, well, whatever.
I'm gonna make this one quick. It's kind of a weak mistake in my opinion. It's from the wiki, and as you guys know, my goal with this is to cover every single mistake in this one episode. So even though it's weak, we gotta cover it. But SpongeBob over here, here's a PNG of him. He has his eyelashes, right? We all have eyelashes, and what happens with SpongeBob is whenever he closes his eyes, his eyelashes always disappear. This is a common thing in 2D animation. Like in every other episode, it happens whenever he closes his eyes. But when SpongeBob decides to call Squidward for help, he blinks his eyes, but his eyelashes are still seen for about a split second, which again is technically a mistake, but it's kind of lame. Let's head over to mistake number 3. This one's much better.
Hey, SpongeBob, your house is gone. Bow ho, bow ho, bow. Squid's taking it real hard. What are you gonna do now?
I guess I'll have to move back with my mom and dad.
So eventually, as you guys just saw, SpongeBob loses his house to those pesky nematodes, and eventually realizes and says, I guess I'll have to move back in with my mom and dad. Now, when this happens, when this exact line is spoken, if we look at Patrick, who's looking very dapper, by the way, like I like his suit, if we look at him, his mouth disappears for like a split second as it's set. Like, look at this dude missing his mouth. Like, how do you forget to draw a character's mouth? Crazy, dude. Like, I don't know how you forget to draw a character's mouth, but whatever. Let's head over to the next one. This one's good.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Did you guys catch it? I would not be surprised if not, because this one's kinda weird. So this is SpongeBob right here, and you'll notice that underneath his mouth, he has this like red line. I don't know if it's supposed to be his lips, if it's supposed to be his chin, but it's always there, this red line right here. It never goes away. Well, actually it does in this episode in a form of a mistake, as when SpongeBob's shivering in the clips you guys just saw, look, the red line normally underneath his mouth is gone for about a split second. It does come back, but for that split second, it is gone, dude. It's gone. Like I said, this one's very, very easy to miss, but this next one, not so much.
Squidward, could we stay here a couple of days or a month or two?
Oh, yeah, well, whatever.
Thanks. Can you give me a glass of water?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, buddy. Yep. This is great.
This next one is another one from the wiki, and I'm not gonna lie, you guys are pushing it with this one. It is kind of a mistake, but before Squidward returns to bed after giving SpongeBob a glass of water, the pillow is like, it's more square than anything, alright? And as you can see, it's only fit for one person. But eventually, when Squidward goes to bed with SpongeBob, they're so cute together, the pillow is now suddenly rectangular and wide enough for 2 people. Here's a side-by-side, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, the pillows are not that different. Like I said, this one's from the wiki, so do not point the finger at me, alright? I just included this one because I want to include every single mistake, and you guys say this is a mistake. So anyways, though, I'm rambling. Here's the next mistake. Take a look at this one.
Mother has dinner waiting.
Hello, Mrs. SquarePants. Let me help you with these bags.
I cannot hold on to you any longer, little pebble. You hold too many memories. Well, Squidward, this is goodbye.
Now, this is one that's actually like pretty bad. This is actually like a real mistake right here. So near the ending of the episode, SpongeBob wears his hat when he is going to plant the seed. As you can see right here, all right, he's wearing his hat. Remember this, as when he plants the seed a second later, his face is seen close up, and look, he isn't wearing the hat. Now, of course, after planting the seed, the hat does like reappear finally, but yeah, totally a mistake. He's wearing it, then it just disappears for a second, and then it reappears back. Crazy mistake. All I know for sure, though, is that's a really nice hat, SpongeBob. I want one.
Well, Squidward, this kisses goodbye.
Come on, SpongeBob.
Bye, Patrick.
Leaving.
Last one. So when SpongeBob gets in his parents' car and Patrick like grabs onto the back of it, pulling the car back and he's crying, if we look at the antenna on the car, it's like glitching out. It's like jumping between different colors and stuff. I'm zooming in on it. Yeah, that antenna is not supposed to be doing that.
I was merely emulating my latest media obsession. Kenny the cat!
Kenny the cat? What in Clam's name is the cat?
Let's head over to modern SpongeBob for this next one. The episode's from season 12, which is a pretty good season, and the episode is Kenny the Cat. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be blunt, I'm not a big fan of this episode. I think Kenny the Cat is kind of annoying, but it has its good moments. What it also has, of course, though, is this really bad mistake, and this one's bad. The art team got in trouble for this one, for sure. Roll the footage.
This gets real uncomfortable after a while.
You guys might have missed it, but during this scene where Kenny gets his oxygen tank, if we zoom in on his right foot and pause, the animators forgot to color in and fill in his right foot. It's just completely transparent, and dude, look at how weird that looks. These are the mistakes where it's actually kind of bad. Like, I'll always give SpongeBob a break because it's 2D animation, and 2D animation is hard, but mistakes like this where it's like a couple of seconds where somebody's foot was not colored in is pretty rough. So yeah, let's head over to another episode, guys. Lots of really cool mistakes coming up. In the episode Krusty Dogs, Krusty Krabs are replaced with hot dogs, which is just wild, but not as wild as the mistake in this episode. Take a look at this.
Excuse me, Mr. Krabs. Well, where are you going with that ladder? Mr. Krabs?
I'm just going to make a few changes to the Krusty Krab menu, that's all. No more Krabby Patties.
So as you guys just saw, a big part of this episode is that Mr. Krabs crosses the Krabby Patty off of the menu, like insane. So insane that an ambulance literally comes. Now maybe you guys caught this one on your own, but if you didn't, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. But normally in the Krusty Krab, there is this workstation area with the cash register that Squidward always works in, this boat right here. Squidward's workstation is just completely missing. It should be right here, but they just forgot to draw it during this one scene, which is kinda hilarious. Here's another one from this episode. I'll make it quick.
Excuse me, Mr. Krabs. Well, where are you going with that ladder? Mr. Krabs?
I'm just going to make a few changes to the Krusty Krab menu, that's all.
Yeah, okay, this one's funny. So Krabby Patties, right? They're not sold at the Krusty Krab anymore. Well then why in this scene that takes place after they're removed is there a fish behind SpongeBob still eating a Krabby Patty when they're supposed to be gone? Not that big of a deal, but still technically a mistake, and guys, we've got more. Here's another episode. When SpongeBob discovers that Squidward has ordered a female purebred racing snail in season 3's The Great Snail Race, he gets a little too competitive and enters his own pet, Gary, into the race, eventually coaching him to the point of exhaustion. It's actually like really sad. Now, at one point in the episode, we get a close-up shot where we can see an exhausted Gary laying on the ground. And if you look closely, you'll notice that SpongeBob's pants are incorrectly blue when they're actually supposed to be red, as seen in every other scene of the episode. So yeah, a very clear mistake here.
Let's go, Gary! Start moving! You're blowing everything we trained for! Blowing it! Gary, are you listening to me? Get the anchors out of your pants right now! Don't give me that look! I said now, mister! Get going, Gary!
Guess what? I've got another Glove World episode for you guys. Like I said, I love Glove World. If I could go anywhere in the world that doesn't exist, a fictional location, I'd probably go to Glove World. It'd be fun. But anyways, here's some clips from this episode. It's called Glove World R.I.P. It's a pretty good one.
Well, there she is, Patrick. It's time to say goodbye to the Tilt-A-Hurl.
Goodbye, Tilt-A-Hurl.
Goodbye, Glove Drop.
So many fond memories on this ride.
I know, Patrick, but we had to be brave. I just don't get it. I mean, why? Why must Glove World close?
Man, imagine if Glove World closed. SpongeBob and Patrick would be heartbroken, as we just seen. Like, they would have nothing to do anymore, pretty much. But anyways, let's get into the first mistake from this episode. This one's actually, like, really funny, and I don't even know how they made this mistake.
Ah, guests. Could I offer you some lemonade?
So as you can see, we're in a library right now, right? But why is there a window on top of the books? What? Who made this mistake? Why is there a window literally on top of the books in the library? Talk about like a really bad mistake. Like this dude should get fired. But anyways, let's move over to mistake number 2. This one's also pretty good.
I can't come out now, SpongeBob, by taking a shower!
But Patrick, it's Glove World! They're gonna...
Glove World?
There it is, Patrick. Glove World.
Look at that guy. He must be the owner.
We heard a horrible rumor that you're going to close Glove World forever.
Close Glove World? Has the world gone mad?
So Glove World has made numerous locations throughout the show's history, like all the way back in Rock Bottom was its first appearance, I think, and then since then it's had many appearances throughout the show. And one thing has usually been consistent throughout these appearances, and that's the entrance to Glove World. So take a look at some of these shots of the entrance. This is how it normally looks across other episodes, but in this episode, it's different. Like, it's not a crazy difference, but it's pretty different as you can see, making for a weird continuity error. I guess they could have changed the entrance, but Glove World appears in later episodes, and the entrance looks like how it originally looked. So yeah, a weird mistake. Let's move over to our final episode of today, which also is full of crazy mistakes. Moving from good old-fashioned SpongeBob to the Patrick Star Show, our next episode is called The Prehistoric Patrick Star Show. It's kind of like a spin-off episode where they go back in time. It's interesting. Here's some clips. I think it's personally a really good episode.
Oh, hush up, will ya? I'll get you some food. Food? Food! Plants, not food! Finally, food!
Food? What do you mean, food? I'm doing my laundry. Eat your own loincloth.
See, like I said, it's actually pretty good. I feel like the Patrick Star Show gets way too much criticism, guys. Like, the show isn't perfect, but it is a good show. It has some funny moments. But anyways, what we're here to talk about isn't funny moments. We're here to talk about mistakes. It's why you clicked on the video. So here's the first mistake from this episode. Let's see if you guys can spot it without my help.
Me, Patrick, Cave Star! And me live with cave parents! This became Dad! This became Mom! This me cave! And this! This became Show!
Were you able to catch it? Well, when Patrick Cavestar introduces his show at the end of the theme song, part of his outfit changes and gains an extra spot. At first, the outfit looks like this, and it's pretty consistent throughout the episode. But during this one part at the end of the theme song, his outfit is looking weird, man, and it has this extra spot here, which I guess isn't that big of a deal, but it's still a continuity error, and this episode has 2. Here's the next one. Let's see if you guys can find it without me helping you guys.
Hate spicy food.
Trying to
Dinosaur milk ice cream.
Oh!
Hello? Me not pray.
Now it's time for sneak attack. Hey! That's me ice cream!
This one happens fast, but when Patrick Cavestar finds a prehistoric version of Walter the Waiter selling dinosaur milk ice cream, this is a really cool reference because it's the same dude from the first SpongeBob movie. From Goofy Goobers, he makes these sundaes, as you can see right here. But anyways, when Patrick Cavestar finds him, Patrick's brown beard is just missing. It's just, they forgot to draw it during this one scene, and it's pretty funny. But let's keep the video going, guys, and head back over to SpongeBob. This next episode is hilarious. And last but not least is the episode Don't Wake Patrick. This episode is all about Patrick sleepwalking and just, yeah, here. I'll let these clips summarize what happens in this episode. Pay attention because it's really good.
Huh. I don't remember making such a mess. And I'm pretty sure I didn't eat spaghetti. Oh, hey, Patrick.
Okay, it's time for mistakes, guys. There is one really bad mistake in this episode. Keep those eyes peeled, watch closely. So this one is very easy to miss, but during the scene where Patrick is sleepwalking through traffic, like I have no idea how this man didn't get hit by a car. Well, take a look at these incidentals, because none of them were drawn with pupils. You can see they have their eyes, but there's no pupils, and guys, I'm sorry, but that's a mistake.
Yo, elves! What the Father Christmas is going on here?
We got this under control. Go back to your stables.
Next up is the episode SpongeBob's Road to Christmas. How fitting. This episode has one very quick mistake, but the mistake is really bad, dude. Let's jump right into it. Roll the footage, take a look at this.
What's in this box anyway?
It's a surprise.
I hope it's a stink bomb for that pot-bellied jingle joker.
Santa is not pot-bellied. He just suffers from seasonal bloating.
I'm going to sleep.
But who will fly this thing?
I put it on automatic pilot.
This one only happens for like one frame, so it's very easy to miss this, but when SpongeBob is talking to Plankton and Plankton walks away, like I said, for one frame, his left eyelid turns blue for like a split second. Like, look at this dude. I'm zooming in on it slowly. Yeah, that is bad. That's a mistake. So many mistakes, man, and I've got more, but for that, we gotta head over to an entirely different episode. Get ready though, this mistake is going to be spicy. In the episode Crabborg, SpongeBob stays up late one night to watch a horror film, where robots take over the world, and as a result of this, he becomes paranoid, and at work, he begins to think that Mr. Krabs is actually a secret evil robot. Well, eventually, he also convinces Squidward to help him, and they soon think that robots have really taken over the entire world. It's ridiculous, but it's also pretty darn funny, so go give the episode a watch if you haven't. Anyways though, on to the mistake, and I will say this one is kind of weird, so listen carefully, okay? During this scene, Mr. Krabs is tied to a chair, and look behind the chair. There's like the back part of the chair, right? Again, this is a weird mistake. Well, in this shot of the same scene, that part of the chair is just gone. It just disappears randomly, but then in the next scene, it comes back. So a bit of a weird mistake here, and I don't know how the animators forgot to draw the back of the chair during this one scene, but they didn't. So yeah.
Where's Mr. Krabs?
What are you talking about? I'm Mr. Krabs.
We can do this all night if you want. Where's Mr. Krabs?
I'm Mr. Krabs.
Where's Mr. Krabs?
Where's Mr. Krabs?
I am Mr. Krabs. I am.
This is one stubborn robot.